You. What up, gamers? What up? I am here. I wonder what excuse Dunk will use this time to dodge trying to beat Yolk's TI with Yolk's harder settings. I would love doing Yolk's easier settings. I would love it. Love it, Dodgy. Love it. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday night / Friday morning. Something like that. I don't even know what day it is anymore, man. I don't know what's happening. Happy Friday stream because it is Friday. I mean, it is 1:37 a.m. here in Texas, so it's Thursday night, baby. Come on, come on. It's not Friday morning yet. We can't count it Friday. That's illegal. The sun has to come up. Then it's Friday. That's how it works, okay? All right. So, I did not realize that today was Friday the 13th. So, part of me is like, should we be doing something Friday the 13th related? Could a max 13 spells run be a thing? Yeah? Like you can only have 13 spells? You can only use 13 spells? Something with necromancy, as boring as it is? I got a dub from Nightmare Random Spawns, non-baby range spawn win. Frozen Vault? Are you going to do that ever, considering more stray wand spawns? I think I will at some point, but I probably want to make it through our random spawns journey currently, just because
I really wish you guys could see this guy right now.
I don't know what the hell, you know, I don't know how we're going to get some of these wins, but Nightmare Mode, Frozen Vault? What the hell, man? 13 orbs, 13 shifts, 13 bosses. That's simple and sweet. I do like that.
Do it.
Yo, listen, Dunk, 13 shifts, but you must convert every shift into blood if possible. Plus, more blood and vampirism. Plus, Kolmi kill with chainsaws. I think 13 bosses, 13 orbs, 13 shifts is a good idea. All right, let's do that then. Himmer thinks is a good idea. We're going with the Friday the 13th run. 13 bosses, 13 orbs, 13 shifts. I was trying to decide if 13 spells is worth making it happen, because the 13 spells one...
Do it.
No, not 13, ask the gods. All right, let's go with the 13s. I can't come up with anything better. 13, here we go. It is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. And we're going to do 13 bosses, 13 fungal shifts, and 13 orbs. And yes, when I gather the 13 orbs, I'll kill the 13 orb Kolmi. I don't think I'll do the 13 spells and stuff just because I'm like, There we go. Get your predictions in. All 13s. 13. So it's basically like if we did a roulette, but we didn't let the number actually roll. We didn't let the RNG choose. We already chose. It's 13. It's 13 for all of them. 13, 13, 13. A transformation would be fun. Dark Halo. I can make that happen too, TARDIS. Just as a fun little, we don't have to do that, but I'll make it happen, TARDIS. I can do it. What's the bet? 13, 13, 13. We have to do 13 shifts, 13 orbs, 13 bosses for Friday the 13th. And we're going to do it on the daily run, in case you guys didn't know. BFG Gaming, thank you for the 19-monther, and it is time. New game. And we go to, wait, why does it say continue? What were we doing last time? What were we doing last time that makes it say continue? Hold on. Well, that's weird. Who knows? All right. Oh, I remember. It was the Super Bowl run, and you guys said check it in a new run to see if somehow the progress. I remember now.
From Australia? Maybe a boomerang?
We don't need to talk about that. What? Ever wanted anything from Australia? Maybe a boomerang from Australia? I would just like to visit Australia someday, see what it's all about. That's one of my bucket list items. Got to see Australia someday. and hopefully not die. Surviving Australia, that's what's going to be all about. Let's go. Ooh, this is truly a Friday the 13th run. Starting with Bouncing Burst and Unstable Crystal. Truly a nightmare.
Ever wanted anything from Austria? Maybe a lederhosen?
Oh god. Actually, I had some Austrian chocolate. Shit, what was the brand? What was the Austrian chocolate brand? Fuck. The Otter? No, what was it? No, not Milka. Milka? Zotter. That was it. It was pretty good. It was pretty damn good.
Don't listen to the bald man. Unstable crystal generates so much money. Only the baldest of NOITA players could think unstable crystal is bad.
This fucking guy. Look, I'll make you really excited, Bex. You ready for this? It just blow your mind. Are you like, oh my god? Do you see this money? I'm rich. Unstable crystal digging is somehow worse than firebolt. That's pretty impressive. I need to get a tiny bit of water. Oh, there's a little bit. A little slurp. There we go. Sky smell over the 6-monther. Another throw run. I make one little mistake and you guys never let me hear the end of it. Yes, my last run did end poorly. We were doing the Super Bowl run and we had everything set up just right. And then whenever we killed the final guy that we needed to kill, which was the ghost, we did it in such a way that we didn't get kill credit. So while we won the run, we lost the bet, and then we canceled the Super Bowl. We had to, alright? We had to call it off.
Swag Messiah.
So the Seahawks got to win by default.
Chat, everyone who votes, yes. Today didn't understand what Friday the 13th means.
You think it's gonna be cursed? You think I'm bound to have something happen? Are the shifts fucked? I mean, they're just 13 random shifts. Should be fine. We'll be fine.
Today's NOITA show brought to you by Bad Baldy.
So what's the run today? It's a Friday the 13th run. 13 fungal shifts, 13 orbs, 13 bosses. In chat saying that because it's Friday the 13th that we're destined to fail, that we'll be cursed. But I'm going to show you that in NOITA, there's no such thing as bad luck. NOITA... Okay, yeah, that's kind of crazy thing to say after the clip we just saw. But in NOITA, you create your own luck. And that's why we're going to get a win right here. 13 spells. I don't think I'll do the 13 spells. I thought about it for a bit, but I was like, I kind of have to keep track of it. And then knowing me, I'll forget all the time. And then chat will be like, oh, you used a 14th spell. And they'll freak out. And then I was just like, no, it's not worth the trouble. We'll put down one of the ambrosias. Penalty! Penalty! Ow. Another ambrosia. Man, today's daily run, for being a Friday the 13th run, it's not that cursed. It's given us 3 ambrosia flasks already. Maybe it's a sign. It's like, you're gonna need this. Trust me. You see the touch of gold in yesterday's daily in the mines? What? A touch of gold? Really? No, I did not. I didn't play yesterday's daily. I was playing, normally I do play. That sucks because, normally on a Wednesday night, I would be playing NOITA, but I was sick at the start of the week. So yesterday we actually played Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2. Fungus shifts away before 13. Make sure you get alternate fungus. You got it, boss. It killed you? Oh, shit. So basically... Yesterday's daily, you guys are telling me had a really easy access. It was like from a chest or something, a gamma, which gives you infinite of any projectile. And then you also got a touch of gold in the mines. Was that early? So yeah, both of these things super early, and then you proceeded to accidentally kill yourself with the gamma. The gamma copying the touch of gold. Nice. Yeah, touch of gold and gamma in the first 2 zones. Naturally, I Midas myself within 10 minutes. Wait, you also? That was also what he Aphantalis was just saying. Did all of you guys lose yesterday's daily by accidentally killing yourself with Midas? Now, maybe that should have been the Friday the 13th run. At first, it appears like it's really lucky and everything, and it's actually cursed. What is that right there? Another ambrosia? That's ambrosia number 4 offered on today's run. 4 ambrosias. Alright, so obviously we want that heart. Obviously. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We try to get this heart, which is going to be kind of annoying unless we do it from below. Too lazy for that. Just terrible digging all around. Oops. Kidding me right now? Okay, well, apparently we are going from below. That corpse out of the way.
I really wish you guys could see this guy right now. He is drenched in sweat.
Woo! A yapping topic. Have you ever been outside USA? If money and relatives was not an issue, where would you like to live at? I've never been outside the US. No, I've never. I've only been in America. I haven't even traveled around very much in general. Mainly just spent most of my life just over here in Texas. Only a couple times traveling to a few states outside of it. Been to like some of the northeastern states. I've seen New York City. You know, I've been to Florida. I took my talents to South Beach. But that's about it. That's actually like my whole journeying outside of Texas, really. If I was to live out somewhere besides the US, well, it is a little limiting because I am a classic American, which means that I only speak one language. I wish I was bilingual. Just that would be a nice skill to have. But sadly, I struggle with English. Venezuela? Wait, no, they said outside the US. That's the US, you know, future USA. USA dumping ground. Still owned by USA. Majority of the world speak English better than Americans. You'll be fine. Trying to think where I would go. I don't know. I feel like I would need to put a lot of thought into it. Off the top of my head, somewhere that I feel like it's not going to, you know, my day-to-day life is going to be pretty much the same. Probably be somewhere like Australia.
I'm coming to TX next month, so we'll do our bald meetup there. Make sure you book
What?
the conference room THNX.
Excuse me? Bald meetup? You don't go out, every place with Wi-Fi will be the same. That's true. That's true. We live in fucking anywhere as long as they have internet. Yeah, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I actually, like, giving a true answer, I'd have to do, like, research and stuff to be like, where can I survive? Most of the world has a McDonald's. You'll be fine. What? Listen, I haven't had McDonald's in months. How dare you? Yeah, I would like to see Australia. Probably could survive in Canada pretty well, except for during the wintertime I would have to really be in hiding. We got Wendy's in New Zealand? Hell yeah, we're going to New Zealand! Now, Wendy's, that's what I'm talking about. That's more of my style. I guess we'll put the pheromone down. Grab the unstable telly. Good luck with 116 degrees Fahrenheit, Australia. Me, I'm from Texas, boy. I think I'll be alright. Now, unless you're telling me that Australians don't have AC, in which case, then I'll be petrified. We are very reliant on AC? Okay, yeah. That's the way I see it, like, you know, places that are real hot. The true uncomfortable thing are places that are kind of, like, they can, especially these days, you know, where they'll get unusually warm, but the standard of living doesn't have an AC there. That's the rough times, because it could be, it's 120 degrees outside. If you have an AC, you'll be fine. I mean, the electric bill may not be so fine, but as long as you're able to have some cool air, you're chilling. Now, if it's 90 degrees or some shit outside and you have no AC, that shit's pretty uncomfortable. Because especially gamers out there know what's up. Like, where you're trying to get some gaming in, but your computer's just giving off heat and you don't have any AC going, so you're just like, you have to make a choice. Do you want to sweat your ass off while you play some game and your computer overheats? Or do you want to not do any gaming at all and at least feel somewhat okay with the temperature? Those kind of decisions. Those are the rough ones. Ooh.
In Cooper Petty, they live underground because it's so hot. That's in the outback of South Australia. A place to visit for sure.
They live underground. There's mole people in Australia? Going to live with the mole people. Yeah, Germany. Germany would be awesome to visit. Problem is, I only speak English, so, like, if language isn't an issue, man, there's so many places that could be awesome to live. But my tiny brain ways has limited me. Even the mole people are poisonous there. Don't trust the mole people. I don't know if I don't think there's a heart formation down there, but you know what? We're gonna go ahead and move on. I'm happy with our position. I had no problem speaking English in Berlin.
This is Mole Man in the morning. Good Mole Man to you.
Woat's actually been, he's been to a lot of countries. Woat's been all over the place. Most people in any country speak a mix of their native language and English. Yeah, that is like the lucky for me kind of thing, where it's like, luckily, it's like the obligation is on them to communicate, like how they have to learn to speak to me. It's like, oh, listen, I only know one language. I'm limited. Yeah, especially with like the internet and everything, it is becoming where like entertainment and everything, most entertainment is done in English. And because of that, a lot more people in other countries that weren't speaking English before are learning. Does Europe have wiener inspections? Maybe it's a requirement. Maybe. You know, in the military, that's like
I wish you guys could see this
so
guy right now. He is drawn.
I think I've told this story before. My cousin was talking about it one time. Oh, yo! So in the military in the U.S., they're very strict with some of the stuff. And so I haven't been in the military. My cousin was. And I remember he was talking about something. I don't remember what we were discussing at the time. And he was saying that, like, yeah, no, they're very strict to make sure that nobody is on any drugs of any kind. And so they regularly do, like, pee tests, which is where you have to, like, you know, pee in a cup or whatever. Nothing surprising there. But he said, and I was like, you know, that isn't that, you know, extreme. He's like, yeah, but he said they have a person who's assigned to watch. And I was like, well, I mean, they got to make sure, you know, nobody's like going in the bathroom, like carrying something with them. He's like, no. Their job, they have to see the fluid leave the body. That's their job. Like, and I was like, wait, so it's like their full-time job? He's like, no, like people get assigned the task, and it's called. He's like, the people nickname them the meat gazers, and I was like, wait, what? He said, yeah, the meat gazers. He said basically their job is like if you get assigned that task, you have to like you're supposed to just be like right there, like watching. And I was like, what? What the fuck? So yeah, then I was like, damn, that's the job of dreams. Oh shit. And I was like, isn't that like super awkward? He's like, well, it depends on who you get, like who gets assigned. What the hell is this? Delayed spell cast 3 times? Please, game. Truly cursed. Truly cursed. But then I remember he linked me a clip because it's kind of like this. And it was some like comedy sketch where I guess people who had experienced this in the military talked about their experience, or like in a comedy sketch about different people assigned that job of being a meat gazer. And how some people are like, you know, for the most part, they're just, you know, they're just not looking, right? They're just like, yeah. But some of them are like really like by the book, like rule followers. And they're just like fucking staring you down. They're like really getting in there. I was like, this sounds not enjoyable. It sounds pretty rough. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they didn't take volunteers for the task. I hope they didn't. I hope it was just randomly assigned. Otherwise, uh-oh. Retro. I volunteer. I would like to volunteer. Like, man, that's the 6th time this month he's volunteered for that. He's truly dedicated to the military. Prosthetic penis to pass the drug test. I don't know what you're linking, but we actually had this discussion before where a guy was a pro athlete of some kind. I can't remember, was it football? And he... what was it? He ran into some like legal issues because when he was flying, when he was traveling, he actually had a prosthetic penis with him, which can be used to like pass drug tests and stuff. Because obviously, you know, pro sports are in the pro sports they regulate that shit, and they're supposed to make sure, you know, to do P tests and all that kind of stuff regularly. But the thing was, he was flying. So he was like, somehow, it was like a weird scenario where his luggage was looked at and he's found to have this. And then, I can't even remember the whole story. It was just really weird. I'm sure if you look it up, pro athlete with prosthetic penis in airport, there's a whole story thing. There's a whole storyline there. He got like in trouble, but it was weird because it was like, well, I mean, he wasn't doing anything at the time. So what the hell? Ooh, stronger hearts right off the bat. I like it. I did hear a little bit about this. I didn't go deep diving into it, but yes, rumors fly claiming Olympic ski jumpers are injecting their genitals. I heard a bit about this. I have no I have no idea if they're true at all, if there's any validity to this, like if it's why size matters for ski jumpers. The so-called penis gate claims suit more what comes well ahead of the competition. Prior to the whole ski jumping season, that's when an athlete undergoes a 3D body scan to determine the size and shape of the skin-tight suit that he will be allowed to wear. Okay, this is a fucking long story. So essentially, they're claiming that they inject their penis to help with aerodynamics. Every 2 centimeters of fabric added to the ski jumpsuit would add another 4% or so to the drag it provides, which in turn could add about 5% to the lift experienced by the jumper. That ultimately might increase the length of a jump by around 5.8 meters. All this shows there is an upside to adding inches or centimeters to your suit measurements wherever you can. This brings us back to the penis, because why not? So you guys are asking why. You aren't asking the real question of why not. In theory, it might be harder to detect when someone has added artificially to the size of that area. After all, let's take a closer look at your penis may not be something standard to say during a suit fitting. So lifting your penis could in theory be a sneaky way to lift your suit size and thus gain more lift on your jumps. Well, there you go.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
What? That was not... We're educating ourselves. We're learning. If you're curious why that's being brought up, it's because it's the Winter Olympics are going on right now. And yeah, somebody, I guess it's like the chess thing all over again, where I know there's like accusations and stuff, but I don't know if there's actually anything. If you guys remember the chess thing where they claimed somebody had a vibrator inside of them while playing chess, and that's how they were like being fed, you know, chess moves, being told how to do chess moves through vibrations, through, yeah. And but obviously they ended up having, you know, it was just like a crazy, just a crazy possibility. It wasn't like anything that was like, you know, real. It was just kind of crazy shit. I mean, I guess it could be real, but I'm thinking the chess, I mean the ski thing probably is in that realm. Probably, maybe. The vibrator means you move your queen. I'm sure they'd have a complex system. It would be like Morse code through your ass. I mean, it's not to be crude, but I'm sure it'd be something like that. There have been no, if I remember correctly, or as far as I know, there have been no accusations of specific people doing it, but it's funny. What, so is somebody just floating the idea out there to get the skiers and try to do it? Like, I just want to say, anybody willing to do this, they may win gold. Just saying, may help. There we go. We have our own exits. Probably don't need this anymore for now. Compete and try it. Won't even need the injections. Immediately get gold. Through sheer hard work and effort. Wait, what were you guys talking about? Don't be weird, chat. Don't be weirdos. Elite players are so good, they only really need the engine move once in a classical game. Is that actually true? Because holy shit. I mean, I guess it makes sense when you're on that caliber. When you're that elite. I feel like that must make online play so tricky. Because it's literally a single move. Because if somebody's cheating for the entirety, so, you know, apparently when you analyze that stuff, it's really easy to kind of call out that behavior. But if you just did it for a single move, it'd be so hard to, like, know if the person was cheating or not. But then again, I guess they're elite, so they wouldn't have gotten an elite if they were pulling that shit in the first place. I still haven't beat this game. Always need more healing. Don't worry, it feels that way. In the early days, you're learning a lot of the enemies, like how they attack, their movement possibilities. So that's not that unusual to be in that position where you're like, I'm still trying to grasp certain stuff. But you'll start to notice whenever you're playing, if you're just not charging ahead and dying. Some people do that where they just run ahead, die over and over. In that case, they're kind of wasting their time a little bit, because you should be soaking up a little bit of knowledge with every death. You should be hopefully learning a little bit of something. You know what? I'll take the pollen over what we got going on. But yeah, small moves like what I'm making right now, where I have not grabbed my heal yet, can have a drastic outcome on your run. Now, the negative thing is sometimes you greed and you just keep looking for more and more health before you grab the heal, and then it gets you killed. So it's about learning when to say, you know what? I don't want to push it too far. So right now I have stronger hearts, so every heart that I've been grabbing after grabbing stronger hearts is worth double. And that means that by not grabbing the heal yet, that when we finally do grab the heal, we're going to get some pretty good value. Which I think right now is the moment of like, hey, let's not push it much further. We're in a good place. Wait for that water to run. I don't want to open that and it'd be electricity. Any advice for dodging hiisi shots in the frozen depths? It's snowy depths dodging hiisi shots. When I get there, I can talk a little bit about it. I do get you, though, because that's one of those that quite a few people do complain about. Because sometimes you're just getting shot off screen, right? And when you get shot off screen, it kind of feels bad because you're like, normally you see an enemy and you're like, okay, I'm preparing. But when a shot just comes flying in off screen and hits you, you're like, what the fuck? How was I supposed to prepare for the unknown? How was I supposed to know something could fly in from down fucking town? So I'll talk on it in a bit when I get there because it's kind of hard to explain. But if you make some general changes to the way that you move your character through Snowy Depths, you can actually remove a lot of those getting shot off screen issues. Not saying you can make it 100%, safe, but you can remove a lot of it. To give you an idea of how it can really be mastered, there are people who not just have a high amount of wins in a row in regular Noita, but they take it even further and they go into nightmare mode. And there's a Snowy Depths in nightmare mode as well. And in that mode, getting shot off screen can be like a death sentence where you're just fucking done if you get hit from off screen. It isn't like where in Noita, mainly it's an issue because the enemies chip away at you, right? They're shooting off screen, your health goes down a little bit and a little bit more and a little bit more. Next thing you know, you're about to die. So in nightmare mode, you have to make sure that just doesn't happen at all. You're like, I can't risk getting hit even once. And their movement, they move in such a way, they don't even allow the opportunity for a single hit. And because of that, the nightmare win streak is insane. Last I checked, it was owned by a Japanese Noita streamer. And their win streak, let's see actually what it's at right these days. Has there been any updates to it? Let's see. Noita win streak. There's a wiki page for it. Yeah, see, look right here, 95 wins by Sayagami. This new one got updated. This one here by Suzume was back in 2024. This one just happened this month. It ended about a week ago, which is pretty insane. Wait, did we watch the death clip of this? I'm assuming this is the death clip. Oh, is it the last win? Maybe it is the last win. Surely it's not the death clip. Damn it. Wait, let me see give me one moment. Let's see if I can find the death clip. What killed the 95 streak? I feel like maybe you guys linked it to me. Yes, this is the one. How did it end? Oh, I remember this. I do remember it. Polymorphine. Yeah, basically, if you look here, you can see there's a pedestal. So clearly when the enemy died, it's easy to say after the fact, right? But in the moment, those little things are hard to notice. So there was a pedestal that must have had polymorphine, a polymorphine flask. I think it's poly and not chaotic poly. Anyways, one of the poly liquids in a flask. When the enemy died, which they, Sayagami probably killed him off screen. So the enemy died off screen. And then when it died, it dropped its gold and everything. Actually, you can kind of see it taking place right there if you're watching. It knocks the flask off the pedestal, spilling the poly everywhere. And gold does this weird thing where it actually displaces liquids and it almost like can hide them behind it. And I can't remember if the bug or whatever still exists, whatever you want to call it, the feature. But you used to be able to take something like a single flask or some solid material, and you could actually store an infinite amount of liquid behind it. And I remember Solar one time showed me an example of this and had me do it on stream. It's been a long time. He'd have to be around for me to set it up again. But basically, you could take the entire lake worth of water and put it behind a single flask. So instead of thinking the entire lake, just picture like a pool of water, and you can take a single flask and store all of the water behind it. And the flask itself will actually look like it's pretty much empty, but the moment you go to pick up that flask, it releases all the stored material behind it. Same idea is happening here. It's a piece of gold with all like poly and stuff stored behind it. In this case, there usually isn't as many issues these days with materials being stored behind it. It still does exist. It could just be as simple as there was too many pixels here, because there definitely are a lot of pixels there. And if you touch it, your own projectiles, which have homing attached to them, will home onto you. So the point is, you see physics objects, you see poly, just don't trust it. I usually stay away from it. And Sayagami probably plays that way too. The only difference is they probably were looking at chat and didn't notice the pink liquid there, and just were like, let me just, woo. Yeah, see, you get a pretty good visual of all the poly getting released the moment the gold is grabbed. Watch all the liquid. It's hard to see very clearly, but there's a liquid pouring out. That's a poly. So you're kind of like, it's free. But anyways, this is the world record though. That death right there was after 95 wins in a row in nightmare mode. So the point of that rant is to say that, like, while when you're playing in the frozen depths, it can feel like off-screen RNG bullshit where you're just like, they're shooting off-screen. This is just RNG as hell. Like, it is just stupid. But it can be mastered. Like, there are ways to control that. What feels like you know, uncontrollable chaos actually is very controllable. So earlier somebody was talking about the whole health thing, trying to get as much value as health. Look at this now. Look at my HP. I have 360 HP and I'm only in the second zone. This kind of snowballs. Not to say that I can't die. Don't get me wrong. I definitely still could die. You know, mistakes still happen. But I've put myself in a position where because I have so much health, if I'm checking entire zones, that means I'll find even more health. Because I have so much health, I can stay in the zone longer, finding more health, meaning it just kind of pushes that HP bar up more and more. So each zone, the amount of health that I have kind of doesn't fit in with the zone that I'm in. You're like, damn, you have way too much health for, yeah, like, you know, way more than it's needed. Overkill's the way to go. When you start your nightmare streak, we got to start it again. I know. I've been a lazy piece of shit. We are going to get back on that soon. The only reason we haven't is because we've been focused on the random start stuff. Random start location. I just finished watching your 100% unedited on Dunk or Trash. Finished part 4 on Super Bowl Sunday. Have you ever thought about doing a run where you complete all quests, not achievements, in one run? So... all quests, not achievements. Okay. That one actually no, because every time it's been always focused around achievements and stuff. But we have, let me think, that would be like, obviously Sun Quest, Mimic Quest. Oh shit. The Giga Nuke, Giga Holy Bomb. I guess it depends on what exactly people consider quests. I think there would be a little bit of debate on that. Because if you consider certain things like, oh, the quest to find the meditation cube, or is it just, hey, it's an achievement for finding it, it's not actually a quest. You know, I don't know how you can kind of differentiate the two. The eye quest? Wait, listen, we don't know if that's a quest. Could be, though. Yeah, oh, they had the fish quest. How could I forget? How could I forget? Have you ever played a game called Tiny Rogues? I haven't played Tiny Rogues. I have watched it, though. I do know of it. Just never played it. Chat usually controls what games I end up trying out. If it's something that I'm, like, just dying to play, then yeah, I would just load it up on stream. I'd say, you know what? Today we're going to play blah, blah, blah. But there hasn't been really any game recently that I was like, oh, I have to play this right now. Well, no, there is one. Well, two, actually. Factorio, when they released their DLC, chat didn't vote. I just said, you know what? I gotta play this shit. So I ended up playing Factorio DLC for like 200 hours on stream. Just a little bit. And then Silk Song, whenever it came out, I gave chat like a couple weeks to beat it themselves. And then I was like, it's time for me to play it. But besides that, I haven't really had any games that I didn't wait for chat to choose. All my recent games, chat has chosen. So, for example, Dark Souls 2. I'm playing through Dark Souls 2 at the moment, and chat selected it as my variety game to play. I've been loving it. It's been a blast. If you like Factorio, have you ever tried Dyson Sphere Program? That one's always brought up. Factorio was actually my very first factory sim game. Oh no, wait. Satisfactory technically was my first one, but I played Satisfactory whenever NOITA was in like early access. So I kind of played it like maybe, I think I got like 20 hours or 30 hours in Satisfactory, and I was having fun because that was my very first time ever seeing one of these factory sim games or trying it out. But then I was so hooked into NOITA, I kind of like abandoned Satisfactory and just went back to playing NOITA. And then 5 years later, 4.5, 5 years later, something like that, chat voted in a variety game called Factorio, and so that was where I really had my first deep dive into it. And then after enjoying that, people kept talking about this Dyson Sphere game, and I haven't played it. I have watched a little bit of it, and I'm definitely interested. I you know, Factorio is one of those games that everybody calls it like this super addicting game. You know, they nickname it Cracktorio. But I was always watching it and thinking, it looks decent, but I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll get around and try it. But once I tried it, I was like, oh yeah, baby. Getting that dopamine. So I'm sure I would like the Dyson Sphere one. Noita's my crack right now. I'm determined to do the Sun Quest one day. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. What's that weird looking flask? There's a guy that throws flasks, like that's his attack. He throws them, and he throws a variety of flasks. Sometimes he'll throw a blood flask, and then he'll throw a pheromone flask, and then a berserkium flask. Well, he can throw a teleportatium flask. The ones that he throws have a different shape to them because they actually hold a different amount of liquid. And but the teleportatium that he throws is regular teleportatium, while the normal shaped one tends to be, like 99% of the time, tends to be unstable teleportatium, which you can still fix the unstable one. You can mix slime in it and it'll stabilize it. But instead I just took he was throwing the flask, so I just figured, I'll just take his teleportatium. It makes it a lot easier to deal with. And that way, if I want to, like in a situation right now, I could be like, oh, we can go check the next mountain. And hold up. Oh yeah, we gotta kill this chump. Get over here. Kill him. Reroll this. Dice is nice. The dice was nice. Huh. I don't know what the move is there. I don't know what I want to do. We'll have to wait and see. But basically, I can use this teleportatium, the stable stuff, and you'll notice that because it, when I pour from like a flask like this, this is your standard just regular flask. So I pour water from it like so. Kind of has a little arc to it. Meanwhile, if I pour from this teleportatium, this one says 200% full. What happens is it has a lot more. You see the pressure? You see how fucking high that thing goes? That's because the flask in general holds less. It actually holds half the amount. So this flask is actually worse. This is a bad flask compared to the other ones. But the Alchemist has a special ability that he can cram twice the amount of liquid in the flask. So this adds more pressure to it. We don't really give a shit about that. All we care about is that if you have 100% teleportatium flask, it is the same as a 200% or 100% standard teleportatium flask, which would be one of these. It's the same as a 200% teleportatium. I forget the name of the. What's the name of these again? The scientific name for this kind of flask. No, not a beaker, but no, there's an actual name. Erlenmeyer? Is that it? Erlenmeyer flask? Erlenmeyer. Well, anyways, if you see 200% of this, just know that even though it seems like you're saying 200%, it must be twice as good. No, it's the same quantity as 100% in the other flask. The only difference is when this is 200%, that extra pressure is going to cause it to pour a higher arc. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this teleportatium, I'm going to pour it up while pointing my cursor up, and then it's going to go on my character, and it's going to take me back into the last level. So I was able to check the next mountain, see if there's any resources that I would like to use, and then come back up here and continue my journey. Also, I had already checked that there were no massive pools of lava above me, so that makes it so that whenever I teleport back up, I don't accidentally jump into an instant death scenario. There are some times that you'll see I have a teleportatium flask, but I don't jump up to the previous zone with it because I don't trust. I see there's a pool of lava, and I'm like, listen, I don't trust this lava. I may jump into it. I'm not going to risk it. All right, we're supposed to be doing some shifting today. 13 of them, actually. So, another heart. Let's put this... Wait, that's already an empty wand. Why did I put that in the ceiling? I didn't need to. Alright, start eating some fungus, because we have to do 13 shifts. This is going to be shift number 1, baby. Consume. It says water. So, as you can see, our water is still regular water, so something else turned into water, which is a good shift for us. It just means that there's more water in our world. So there's a hidden heart right here. I put my cursor, see right up here? We know there's a heart right there. I'm just trying to get it. The issue is that I don't have anything on me. I have stuff up here that can dig this, but my current stuff does not dig it. How do you find the hidden hearts? So basically there are certain formations. I'll show you this exact one. They're consistent. So wiki heart formations, and then we are in the second. We're in the fungal area, so it's the second zone. So if you look, this formation right here may look kind of familiar. You're like, oh shit, I've seen this before. There's going to be wood here, wood here, wood here, wood here, and this whole area is filled up with a green. This is a gas, not a liquid. And then there's little pedestals. The heart can be right here. If the heart's right there, it doesn't look this obvious. It's actually behind. You can't really see it very well, but for the sake of the video, or the sake of the wiki where they're teaching people the heart formations and stuff, they highlight it in such a way that you can clearly see where it spawns each time. And in this case, there it is. The wood's right here, wood here, and then what happened is the terrain spawned on top of it. It's like they two of them are colliding. Two of the formations are having a collision, and what I did, god damn it, fuck that telly mage. Every time he appears, I go to kill him, and he just teleports off. Anyways, I recognize the bottom half of that image, and so I was like, oh, I know that the heart should be right about here. So then I looked in about that spot, put my cursor around there, and I saw max HP, extra max HP. So oh fuck, it's hidden in that wall. So it's basically the formation gives away what could be there. Chat was doing consume, so they're saying it's about time that we do another consume. I'll do it when I get back over there. I also need to grab up some of the fungus. Actually, we don't need that for anything. We could put this stuff here, I guess. And I'm going to put double luminous drills here. That's our digging. Luminous drill does allow you to go through terrain that is really difficult, like the Holy Mountain terrain, which normally you can't just dig it with a regular bomb. So the pollen, even though the pollen doesn't dig away at this Holy Mountain material, since the luminous will, that's how I know, okay, I can use this also on that one spot where I can't reach that heart. That luminous drill will give us what we need to get to it. Gonna need a different kind of fungus. Yeah, people are saying that we're gonna be losing fungus today. I'll try to make a backup homemade fungus. I'll do my best. Have you ever used your own music during streams? No. Just because the way I see it is, I already have so many layers of audio stuff. Like sometimes the game's got its own music. Games have its own sounds at least, right? Like for the actions and everything. And then we have DunkBot sound effects. You got me talking. So then layering my music on top of it can be a bit much to balance. And I figure some people like to listen to their own. Everybody's got their own taste in music as well. So I just view it as, why deal with all the DMCA shit when I can just not play music, and then if people want music, they can just pull up a YouTube video and play some music in the background while I'm chilling. I'm glad for that, Dunk. Plus, also, NOITA music is top tier. Yeah, true. Also, just the default we've been rocking is so good. Default. I was trying to say default said, NOITA default said default. The fault of the knee. NOITA's default original soundtrack is pretty sick. The only thing is, every once in a while there are moments where I feel like the game is kind of, I don't know, maybe there's like a lull in the game, like it's kind of like chilling. Like that's why somebody said, hey, why is there no music? But it's starting to pick up a little bit now. There's a little bit of something. So I get it why some people are like, well, we want some music. Because it can get quiet for long periods of time, but that's how NOITA builds up its atmosphere. That way, whenever the soundtracks are popping, they hit different since it doesn't just play it on loop by default. You're waiting for the action. So at this point, some people just leave the zone because they're honestly a little bit like, because our health is not that low at all. I mean, it looks low, but if you think about it, 249 HP at this point, a lot of people will be at like, you know, 150 HP, filled up HP, and they're like, holy shit, I'm maxed out health right now, nothing has hurt me, I'm unkillable. Well, because looks like I'm low health, but it's like our total health bar is way bigger than it normally would be at this point. So in reality, we're still in great shape at the moment. But I can understand why some people like to leave by now, because it gets a little bit slow. You're having to check every corner, see if there's anything interesting. Like at this point, any extra stuff that we're looking for is kind of overkill, because we've already put ourselves in a great position for the next zone. So let's eat this fungus. This will be our second random fungal shift of the run. We're supposed to do a total of 13 because Friday the 13th. Uh-oh. Rip water. Damn it, I was wondering what you guys were laughing about in there. That is unfortunate. At what point do you normally stop caring about how much about collecting gold nuggets? Once you have very good digging, like infinite black holes or some shit like that, because you got to remember that once you have such strong digging that you can go wherever the hell you want, well, there's a room filled with gold. So let's say that I had like infinite black holes right now. Well, all I'd have to do is I just head over here to the side, go up here, through the ceiling, whatever, across the deserts, over the pyramid, and hit the wall, climb the wall, and then boom, you just get to this. Basically, it just takes a little bit of time. Just because I have infinite digging, I don't always go to this gold room because maybe I'm lazy or whatever. But you also notice that I'm also not collecting every nugget of gold. So that drives some people crazy because my gold doesn't look like it's out of control. And yet I'm not trying to get more, like I'm not really going out of my way. And then people will say, you know, you're driving my OCD crazy. You're not grabbing the gold nuggets. In reality, in the back of my head, I'm like, well, because if I need gold, I can always just go to that room if I need it that bad. But do I need it? I do have the ability to reroll that. It just feels so wasteful when there's 2 perks. So in my head, I'm like, well, we could always do that in a bit. Those perks aren't going to disappear. It's really, like, you know, it's really up to you on that one. And actually not grabbing the heal right now is just kind of greedy. My health is in such a position that it's like, why not? You never know if you take an Uko shot to the face. Why risk it? Actually, I just realized freeze charge, not going to be great right now. In fact, somebody was asking earlier how to deal with the snowy depths. Well, that's where we're heading in there and into the zone that can be hard to deal with enemies because they shoot you off screen. The setup that we have, though, is not a great one for it. We have a damage wand that doesn't shoot very far. Isn't Bloodlust on Chainbolt pretty safe? Actually, you know what? I like that. That's a good idea there. I don't do that very often. I think that's a great idea. Is that Deldranov? I think that's a good idea. Bloodlust Chainbolts. Especially with our health in the position that we are, I think it's not a bad idea. In general, though, in Snowy Depths, you usually like to use spells that give you farther reach. The further you can reach, the safer you are. Because a lot of times there'll be like, we're in this position and there's like an enemy over here. And so you can just shoot. But Chain Bolt is terrible with reach. It doesn't really go as far as we would like. But the damage is good. So we'll try to compensate with our bad reach with good damage. And a Bloodlust on there. Oh boy. Big damage. How fast can you make that laser spell? Oh shit. Fast? So fast isn't always good with the chain bolt. Instead, what you would rather have is extended lifetime. That means it does more jumps, and which will mean it'll go further. If you try to go with like speed, something that makes it go quicker, what will happen is sometimes it will jump past enemies. So if you have an enemy right in front of you, you may try to shoot them, but it'll just jump over them. More jumps, on the other hand, will make it so that it has its own built-in homing. Chain bolt does, and it will just be around longer to look for bad guys to kill. So in Snowy Depths, try to get a good range weapon if you can. Don't learn from my current build since it's not the greatest range. And then also try to focus on moving left to right more than vertical. So what I mean by that is, while going down is definitely good, like there's an Uko I think below me. I saw some explosions just happen down here, which leads me to believe there's an Uko somewhere down here. I could be wrong. Let's see if I can find him. That's not good. I'm not seeing him anywhere. Ooh, ooh. Danger everywhere. Danger, danger. I'll go into more detail about that movement in a second. Guy's gonna blow up. Well, I was saying there was a Uko. I don't know where he went. Kind of lost track of him. So sniper for one. He's an easy one to kind of get. Oh, well, I say that as I get smacked. He can be annoying if there's snow. So see how there's snow right there? If there's snow, he can shoot in between the snow. Let's see if I can get an angle. He can shoot in between the snow, so some of the projectiles will fly through it, and that will lead to him hitting you. See, like, and if you're really close like that, it's hard to dodge. But if you're far back, do not dodge until you know the moment the shot is released. So let's say that he's right here and I'm right here. The moment he shoots, I try to either levitate, so jump, or free fall. But up to that moment, it really doesn't help, because if I see him lining up his shot and I start levitating early, the only reason to levitate early is because you're trying to hide behind something. He will lock onto you at the moment the shot is being taken. So let's say you're moving like this. You're like, oh, he's not going to be able to hit me now. I'm moving so fast. The moment his shot is, the moment it's released, it locks onto your player position. So all this movement you're doing leading up to it isn't like faking them out. It's not like, oh, you can't hit me. So that it's kind of pointless. So then that makes the main thing with the sniper being about distance. Because if you're too close, the bullet travels so fast, you're not really going to get any time to dodge. But the further back you go, as long as you time the jump or the free fall at the moment of the shot, you'll dodge 100%. So keep your distance on the sniper. Look for the red laser. And again, the snow is annoying because the snow will actually block the red laser, which you saw a second ago. And then his shot will just like smack you through it. Oh, shit. What the hell? Remember, this is today's daily. This wand is amazing. So this solves the issue that I was kind of complaining about where we don't have any range. Now all we have to do is get back to the base. So right there, did you see that laser for just a moment? What happened is the sniper is starting to line up his shot on me, but he does move a bit. So whenever he's moving around, this leads to him sometimes going behind like a pile of snow, and the laser gets blocked. But he will still sometimes be locked onto you, even though you don't see the laser still focusing you. Okay, so you see like how up to the time of release, dodging early doesn't help at all. You're just trying, I mean, maybe like a second just to get you to start levitating. But he's starting to line up his shot and I'm already doing this, it just kind of makes it harder to dodge because you're already running out of levitation because you're using it up. So if you can, kind of store it until the last moment that it's needed. That one's just a timing thing. It's not like not any rocket science. The machines though, they have a little bit to them that you can actually, you know, once you learn it, it's like it helps quite a bit. If I can find one of them. Okay. So this is one of those wands that for a newer player will be really hard to follow along. That's because this is kind of a crazy wand to find at this point in the run. It's like, damn, it's just jam-packed with loot. Way more than you would ever expect at this point in the run. But it's the daily run, and it's being generous to us today for some reason. So let's take advantage of it. So first we got the spark trigger. That's a classic. No surprises there. Spark trigger down. Spark trigger, add mana, linear arc into... We really don't have a lot of filler projectiles, so we're going to need filler projectiles. Just stuff to take up some space. So 1, 2... hold on that for a second. 3... 4. Yes, I'll do consume in 1 second. So this is a triple and a double, which is the same thing as a quad. So 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got the linear arc, the add mana, and the spark trigger. Pretty simple. Linear arc adds 5 damage to every one of these. So instead of hitting for 3 damage each, they hit for 8 damage each. Pretty good upgrade for 0 mana. We fire it. Not the fastest thing ever. So we're going to put this reduce recharge here. Getting a little quicker, but not exactly the fastest thing ever. Try wrapping it. Not bad. Not bad. Let me do some math here. So if this adds 30, and this costs 12, and this costs 10, meaning this is 22 mana cost between these two, meaning we have 8 mana to spare. So we really don't have a lot of wiggle room. What we could do is for now just say fuck it and put down like a single bouncing burst like this. That's infinite. If I put on a second one of those, does it sustain? Pretty much. It's not 100%, but it's pretty close. I'm happy with that. We'll put that on there. Bloodlust, put that up. Put this up. Chain bolt's gone. Oops. Gonna be our digging there. Alright. Just kind of taking up some space there. That's fine. So now we have good range. We can now kill enemies from very far away without risking ourselves getting smacked around. Who asked? Okay, I won't go into too much. Give the balls speed. Not really any benefits to giving the balls speed right now. If we were to do it, like let's say that we were to say, hey, I want those balls traveling faster. What would happen is if you put this speed up on there, and you shoot it, it does cost you a bit more mana, which is 3 mana, is not that bad. But you're not going to notice like a really drastic outcome. Now, acceleration is something that's going to be pretty interesting when it comes to the bouncing burst, because acceleration can actually add damage when it comes to bouncing burst, but that's a yap for another time. No bloodlust, pussy alert. Okay, bloodlust on this would actually potentially could kill me. Hell no.
I'd like to buy 2 more bit rates, please.
Is it tanking the bitrate pretty hard? Row. Ooh, we need this badly. We haven't been teleporting. We have been just walking everywhere. That is big. Looks kind of nice. You like it? Some matrix look to it. That's because the linear arc makes it move in kind of an awkward way. But we don't give a shit about the movement. We want that additional damage being put on the payload. That's its whole purpose. Throw that away. Move these over here. Teleports go there. Alright, now we actually have something going. Alright. So then we go over here, and we're going to drop the fungus from high up. Save glue throwers for future shifts. Hopefully we won't need it. I guess it is possible we could need them. I hope it doesn't come to that. Will there be a special run for Valentine's Day? QZ was saying that he had something in mind that he was wanting to do for Valentine's Day, but he hasn't said anything to me yet, so I think there's a plan. We'll just have to wait and see. You look like Lego piece 28125. I'm telling you guys, I see this message all the time. What the hell? I don't know what TikTok video or YouTube short that's been making its rounds for the last couple months, but god damn it. Archmage trick all bosses. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Ooh, chance for something nice here. Now, once you get the range, this area becomes a lot easier. Ooh.
How about making this more cursed to hone the spirits of the day and roll 1 to 4 before the shift, and you have to hold the flask from the slot while doing the shift?
Like, we can't go add in too many layers on this shit. People will be like, wait, I didn't know about this when I placed my bet. This and this. I like it. Oh, this, I was looking for a damn tank forever. So, another way to help avoid damage from some of these machine enemies is you want to move in a way that, like, they are the center point, and you're staying on a, like a track, a circle around them.
You also have to tap your head and rub your stomach while reciting the alphabet backwards, and can you also blow into this breathalyzer test?
What in the hell? What? What is going on? So if oops, woo, blinded chat. If X shows you where the enemy is, then you need to you need to move in a radius around him in a circle. It doesn't have to be in a complete circle, but the mistake that I see new players make is instead of moving in this kind of arc around the enemy, what they do is they move like this, like an up down, like a zigzag. And this is a problem because the way that those enemies fire off is once, like, they're looking for you, and once they see you for a moment, then they fire off. So if you're moving away or toward them, they're not causing the machine to need to move around, which means that it will fire off. Now, if you, let's say that this enemy is on the ground like this, and so you can't do a full circle, right? Because this is the ground's in the way. Instead, what you would do is, as long as you're moving like in an arcing way around them, it's fine. So you don't even have to go the full arc. You could go to like right here, and then you could go this direction, then you could immediately cut back. That's okay. Just make sure you're not moving in a zigzag like this, this way, because this guy will try to shoot at you, because you're not changing. You're not causing the tank to need to move.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
All right. This, I thought maybe you'd be interested. I thought maybe you'd want to know. So this guy will still fire off. He actually fires off pretty quickly. But you'll notice that I tend to stay moving in that same arcing fashion around him. And that keeps him being like, oh shit, I need to aim. But, if you hit that ground for a moment, it's like, oh, I'll take the shot. Compared to some noobs, they try to move like this. They just go up and down. And this actually makes the enemy a lot harder to deal with.
You don't have to quote yourself.
Same goes for the other guy as well, the other tank. This dude right here. Moving that same way. You get the idea. Where'd this worm go?
1, 2, 3. To be a man, you must have honor and a penis.
Oh, come on. You just bail out? I'm drinking the worm blood as much as I can. Worm? Dude, this worm bailed hard. Did he drop anything? He dropped nothing. Silly worm. Well, since we're down here, I wasn't really planning to go to this level yet, but while we're here, check Discord. Should I be alarmed? Short telly. I do like short telly. Don't need that anymore. Drilling, kind of interesting. Freezing gaze, I may come back for that. We'll have to wait and see. Chat saw the wasp. They're kind of excited for the wasp.
Don't forget you still need to make fungus.
Yes. Yes, we do. Trying to think how we're going to go about this. Head back up for a moment. Is this the clip that you guys are seeing that makes you spam it in here? Is that what this is? Okay. Some fish hanging out on propane tanks. They were hanging out on some propane tanks. I'm mainly just scanning the bottom of the mountains to make sure there wasn't like any lava or anything like that. And we also needed to check down here anyways for any resources. And then we're going to real quickly freeze our enemy. We're going to kick him. I'm going to shoot him. We have a lot of big moves that we can make at the moment. But I think the best move that I can make to ensure a safe and healthy run is we grab the heal, then we run out here into the level, and we get a healer set up for us. Now, we don't need heals right now, but we're doing that so that we can go adventuring around, and we know that if we get injured or whatever, that we have a spot with healers that we can fall back to. There's actually several ways that we could heal right now, but it's just good to always have backup plans. There. Wait, is it? That is a healer. Why does his gun look kind of weird? I guess because he's so submerged in that damn worm blood. Alright. Actually, no, that's not a healer. For a second, I don't know why. I looked like I saw like partial green, but I guess my eyes were just confused by the worm blood. It was like, oh yeah, he's a healer. Certainly this guy will heal me. And then I would walk up to him and he goes to shoot me. Why is his green so weirdly colored? His gun so weirdly colored with green. Stupid worm blood. There we go, finally. Green gun. We're bringing the healer over here, but the problem is there's a lot of fire, and healers are made of paper. No! Stop getting confused. Actually, how does fungus do as a door? Like if I... Come on, bring him in here. If I were to... Oh my god, healer, stop being annoying. How does this work as a door? No, he's almost... Then I just walk through it. Does his AI do a good job? Hold on. Yeah, it does too good of a job. I was hoping that maybe it would get a little bit messed with. Trying to avoid suffocation. It's a healer. What am I talking about? He loves suffocation. That is fine. We already have a really good door. Which is going to be this. Healer. The reason we brought the healer in here is that he is friendly with the fish. He loves the fish. In fact, if you kick the fish, he's like, no, my baby, I'll heal him. And then you just stand there, and the fish is like, ow. And then you just get free heals. Forever. The issue is that, like, you want to keep him locked in here with his fish friend and not roam out of here. No. Oh! The fact that you're alive right now amazes me. Alright, and then we zoom out here. And we kick this into place. We're trying to make a door, in case you're curious.
So stupid.
There we go. Yeah, maybe I should have cut off the little part on the bottom. Some precision. There you go. Oh. Well, normally I feel like I do a better job at this. I don't know why the door's not working with me. There we go. There we go. Now we have built a home for the healer, and if at any time during our run there's an emergency situation and I'm like, what am I going to do about the heals? We know that he's in there waiting for us to kick the fish and get the free heals. If I didn't want to do the fish setup for whatever reason, maybe you're pro fish, you could use this tank to do the same thing, but the issue is that the healer still, like, you know, roams around. I like to get him trapped in that zone so that I know where he's at. Makes him really easy to track down. So, now that we've done that, we need to... Is there not any... Did all the worm blood drain out of this place? We're going to drink some more worm blood. And the reason we're drinking this worm blood is I want to see in the dark. And the place that we're going to is pure darkness. And a little bit dangerous. A lot of it dangerous, actually. Oops, almost took the portal, not paying attention. So, there is a zone over here on the far left side that in general you probably shouldn't spend too much time in because you'll get yourself killed. But if you ever have ambrosia and you feel confident, you can check in here if a heart mage spawned. And if he did, well then shit, that just means that you get really good HP really early in the run. Our HP is already insane, so we're just trying, like I said, we're trying to do a snowball effect where we take our good HP and make it berserk. Out of control HP. That is a super dangerous wand to have chilling here. Oh my god. There's a wand up there. There it is. Yo. Piercing and chainsaw on this thing. So far, I'm not seeing any heart mages, though. I gotta be kind of careful with my shots, because I could end up killing a heart mage if he does spawn. He's not the most common spawn in here. He does spawn, but it isn't like a, oh, it's guaranteed kind of spawn. It's like, oh, hopefully. So, it looks like we are not going to get lucky. But if a heart mage had spawned here, all we have to do is we let him hit us while we have our ambrosia stain on us so he can't hurt us. He'll take our HP bar from 530 down to like 10 HP. And then whenever it's crazy low, we grab this. Bloop. It gives us, instead of giving us 25, because we have, instead of giving us 25 health, because we have stronger hearts, it actually would give us 50. So then that 10 HP would end up turning into, after all the heartaches expired, we would end up getting an additional 1,600 HP on top of our already existing 500. So we would have had a lot of HP. Let's put it that way. But didn't work out. That's why you just have many plans in NOITA. You try them all, and eventually one of them works out, and then you just go crazy. So another one of my plans that I have is killing the pyramid boss. Alright, and back here, we can make a lot of upgrades. We have so many upgrades we can make. Tons of upgrades. So, first off, reduce recharge. We don't need to double cast it, but we still need one of them. So in this current scenario, we are casting the reduce recharge every time. So you can see it every time that we're casting our wand, it casts the reduce recharge, which a reduce recharge costs 12 mana. So that's kind of expensive. Instead, we'll put it after the spark trigger. So we only benefit from the recharge, not the cast delay, which seems weird, I know. But that's because what we're going to do is we're going to put a chainsaw and a double spell at the front. This allows us to wrap our wand. At first, this looks like a terrible move. When you cast it, it doesn't seem so great. But if we move the add mana here, it should give us a pretty good upgrade. And then from there, we're going to add this. Guess we can throw this crit on there. Both of these crits on there. Short telly here. This double goes... Actually, you know what? This becomes a triple. 3, 3. That's a 5 cast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, 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 good. And then now, when I spam this wand, it looks like that's... Actually, end up losing mana. That's good enough. Big damage, and it's safe damage too. Like, we're shooting this, all that damage right there can't hurt me because we're not using the bloodlust. That'll be dangerous. We are using the heavy shot. Big build. You didn't grab the third perk. Oh fuck, I didn't grab the third perk. God damn it. Getting distracted by too many things. I do want to consume, yes. The issue is that I wanted to real quickly, there's a flask in here that is a lava potion. And what I'm going to do, temporarily, I'm going to place down the ambrosia. Well, actually, if we just grab toxic sludge, we wouldn't even need the lava. We could have the mystery fungus, couldn't we? Yeah, I wasn't even thinking. Can't wait for the flask to break. I mean, we have several. There was so many ambrosia flasks today that it's kind of wild. So what I was going to do is you can actually use lava. And there's some enemies in the jungle that if you put just a couple specks of lava on them, and then they're a corpse, like when they're dead, they bleed a green slime. A couple specks of lava and you leave their corpse there for a minute or two, actually will start to grow a green fungus that can get your character high, just like the pink fungus does. The only difference is the pink fungus will sometimes fungal shift away, while the green fungus never fungal shifts away unless you do it intentionally. Would the explosive projectile help, or would you need a second one? I want a second one before I can do big damage, but there is a solution for that. We have a, like I said, there's so many different strategies we can take right now, and all of them are very powerful. We probably will do one to bring in the explosive projectile. It's just for a moment, we are going to get some toxic sludge. Let's scoop up some sludge. And normally you'd want to do this in a careful way so you don't get like a stain on you and everything, but I'm going to be a little bit lazy, and I'm going to create a small... where is this? That's not very small. I was going to say a small pit of blood. Like that. We bring out our flask, scoop up the toxic sludge, do this quick, wash it off. Alright, toxic sludge. There we go. So right now, I'm just going to place our regular fungus right here. So this is the pink stuff. Chat was saying that today on the daily run, after so many shifts, this actually will vanish. We'll actually lose access to our normal fungus. That's why we're making a backup fungus. Backup plan. So to do that, there's a couple different ways. You could use that fungus to help make the new fungus, but I want to show how to do it without it, because that's probably more helpful for most people. So you're going to go looking for a mushroom. There's a couple mushrooms out here, and I think we should be able to... Yeah, there we go. You want to break the mushroom down from the background. And let's see if it'll let us kick it into the sand. We have to kick it into that sand. Ugh! Am I strong enough? Yay, I'm strong enough. Leg too strong. Oh, maybe. Then from there... What we're going to do is we're actually going to pour some toxic sludge on top of that mushroom and the sand. We want it all mixed together. So now I have toxic sludge on the sand with the mushroom, and then just shoot it. Ugh. And it creates a mystery fungus. Now this mystery fungus spreads pretty quickly, but we want to make sure to grab some of it in a pouch. That's our most important thing. And once you have it in the pouch, you can throw it on top of the sand if you would like. See, it's already starting to spread. If you throw it on top of the sand, it just like, as it interacts with the sand, it just kind of takes over. It's spreading. But you don't have to, sometimes that can be a bit slow. Sometimes it's fast. It just really depends on how nice the engine is working that day. Come on, wake up, wake up. But the alternative being that you just fly high up in the air with a little bit of that mystery fungus in a pouch, throw it around on top of your character, and then fall with it. And then... ta-da! Mystery fungus! And then we scoop up our mystery fungus. Got some bone dust in there. We don't want any bone dust. Hey, bone dust, get the fuck out of here, man. There you go. Now we got the good stuff. So this fungus gets your character high, but so does this fungus. This mystery fungus, however, we should not lose it during our run today. This one apparently at some point is going to shift away into another material. This one will never shift away unless you do a fungal shift and you hold the pouch of mystery fungus, because then there's a chance that it will look in your pouch and say, oh, shift that material, so you could lose it in that way. But in terms of not holding anything, it's not eligible. So let's consume. Which fungus tastes best? Mystery fungus has got it. I mean, it's like so colorful, right? Gotta be. Worm blood. So now, while we were out here, we were making the mystery fungus, but we have something that we can do since we've already made the journey. You know, we've already went out here. Might as well get as much value out of it as we can. And that value would be... we kill the pyramid boss, who's kind of, you know, for the most part, a pretty easy boss. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, he hit me with the weekend. For some reason, I was thinking it was a twitchy mage for a moment. I got scared. Because whenever if you have a twitchy mage effect on you, and you have a lot of damage, which we do have a lot of damage, you could accidentally kill yourself. But that won't be a problem for us. Just a weekend. Just weekend. Alright, then we shoot this dude in the face. And his drops were not the greatest. His wand was also kind of a joke. We're going to look around the area. You never know, there could be a heart mage. This is another area where a heart mage can spawn. Again, like the other zone, not exactly like guaranteed, but there is a good enough chance that's usually worth kind of scanning the zone. There's like, see, as you can see, there are mages in here. It can't be a poly mage though, which is kind of nice. The fact that they don't even have a possibility for a poly mage to spawn, but they do have a possibility for a mage that could be very helpful for you. Hell, if we wanted to, we could have used piercing with that one weakening mage we saw earlier. We'd have to go find another modifier as well, but you can use that weakening mage and abuse it to make it where something like projectile damage actually heals the player, or something like explosion damage heals the player. That's where that one mage, some people see that mage that I killed earlier. Remember at first when I jumped in here, I was like, oh crap, and then I realized it was just, oh, it's just a weakening mage. Some people get really excited because they're like, fuck yeah, because instead of doing the heart mage trick, they just abuse it, a different trick. And you could argue that the weakening mage trick potentially is actually even more OP than the heart mage trick, depending on how you look at it. You can just make it where certain damage types heal the player. So enemies trying to shoot you with bullets will actually be shooting heals at you because bullets will heal you. It's pretty crazy. But we're not doing that right now. Let's go with let's go with the heart here and go with the copy random spell. Nice. Desperate for a heart mage when you have like 600 HP. It's not about like necessarily like, oh, I have to have it right now, but it's more like explaining the opportunities, because I feel like when people stop by here, they're like, well, of course you don't die. Every day you have like 2,000 health. You're getting lucky. But the reality is, as long as you know these moments of chance of like, oh, there could be one here, there could be one here, if I explain them, then you at least, whenever you're playing in your run, or somebody who, you know, a newer guy who's playing knows to look in those spots as well, so they can also have that same HP. All right, you guys ready for a shop? Sure, we're gonna do a shop. Quick break for the shop. We still have lots to do. We only have, this is our third orb. We need 13, so we got 10 more orbs to get. How many fungal shifts have we done? It's been only 4 shifts. Really, Thaleen? Only 4? Kind of disappointing. I thought there'd be more. It gets probably ignored, but have you seen this massive breakthrough? What's this? Oh shit, I'm too tiny brain to maybe understand this, but I'll show chat. My brain too tiny, Wanderer. Hold on, let me close the shop. Thank you, anyone, please, for the great cosmetic. I do appreciate you. Unveiled, is that Rosatom's plasma engine, a prototype that accelerates particles at 100 kilometers a second with tests of up to 2,400 hours of operation. Trips to Mars would take 30 to 60 days and in theory just 12 hours to the moon. Is this real stuff, chat? Is that real? I don't know, man. I'm not a gigabrain to understand this stuff. Yes, it's real. Russia, probably not. It's all hype. Well, shit. Guys, we're going to Mars. Come on, we're all going to get our... Everybody pack your bags. We're going to go to Mars. We're going to make our own little land. It'll be fine.
This is nothing. China already said they invented time travel and teleportation.
Oh, shit. Never mind. You can get to Mars yesterday. All right, let's get to the action. We're gonna... So this one was shit. While we're out here, though, we might as well go grab a good one real fast. Is it 100 kilometers a second, like 1/3 the speed of light? That's crazy. It says it is... Wait, one light is 299,792 kilometers per second. I think we're off a little bit. So you're about 1.0. I don't know, what would be 300 of? Basically, you're like 0.0001% of the way there, right? Something like that. Oh no, it'd be it's 1/3000th. Okay. So 0.01. Wait, no. 0.1 would be 1/1000. Okay, so it'd be, yeah. 0.1. Yeah. That's close enough. 0.03. How about that? Stop thinking and focus on the run. All right, all right. I'm not built for that math. You're not built for it, son. Another ad mana is pretty spicy. I think we've talked about it before. Speed light travel shit. That crap blows my mind. Just like, I mean, obviously I know you're not, masses can't reach the speed of light, but the fact that if you could travel at the speed of light, then time stands still for you. That shit like blows my mind. My little tiny brain is like, what the fuck? Technically, photons don't exist from the point of view of photons, because what's existing for literally 0 time? Dude, that shit, like, I try to like grasp it, and I feel like my brain's sweating. I'm like, what's happening? Like the idea, like the one that really gets me is like, imagine you're on a planet, right? You're on Earth, and you could somehow, you could see a planet 1,000,000 light years away, right? And it's 1,000,000 light years, and you could travel at the speed of light. You would reach, because I know you can't travel at the speed of light, but in this magical world, I can travel at the speed of light from Earth to this place 1,000,000 light years away. And then the moment I go to travel, if I instantly reach light speed, me experiencing it would get there instantly. You would just teleport. You'd be like, I fucking made it 1,000,000 light years away, and I did it instantaneously. And then you could look back at Earth, and it would look like the exact moment that you left it. But in reality, if Earth looks exactly as you left it, and you're 1,000,000 light years away, that means 1,000,000 years passed for them. So now everything is fucking different on that Earth, even though it looks the exact same. That shit hurts my brain. What do you mean? You guys don't know that?
Nope.
You guys didn't know that? Are you guys learning about this? Why would it be instantaneous? Because it's time space. Think of it like this. Chad didn't know. Are you guys learning about this for the first time? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So think about it. A lot of you know this, you just don't realize you know it. If you're looking at the sun, and somebody says, oh, but you're looking at the sun, was it supposed to be like 7 minutes ago or some shit? That means that you already recognize that you can see something, but the moment it reaches your eyes, it is not that exact. You're seeing into the past, right? You're looking at the past. So the moment you think of it that way, if you were to reach light speed and travel and be able to look back where you came from, if you're traveling light speed away from something, that spot that you're traveling away from will be frozen perfectly. Exactly. So light takes time to travel only for the perspective of the people of Earth. I said from my perspective, it would be instantaneous. You would look back on Earth and you would be like, that's exactly as I left it. Now, Earth, a million years have passed, but for the person, you will have gone instantly. Stop hurting my brain. It's crazy. Isn't that crazy to think about though? Like you can travel to somewhere a million light years away. You can go there if you could reach light speed. Obviously, that's the magical part. But you could go there. You just can never come back because everybody would already be dead. They would have watched you travel, and it took you a million years to get there. But you didn't age or anything. You would have traveled. It's like you can travel to the future. You just can never travel to the past. You can only go forward. It's kind of fucked up. Yeah, there you go. That's boom. Interstellar. Well, Interstellar's a little bit fucked because at some point he does go into a black hole and things get a little bit wild, but that's where it gets a little bit crazy. Then why does light take time to move? Because it's from your perspective. Did you know light, that whenever the light leaves the sun, the time it takes to reach the earth, you say is like 7 minutes, but that's from your perspective. From the light's perspective, it's instantaneously. It leaves the sun and it arrives on earth at the same time. That's because you're thinking of things from two different perspectives. That's why they call it time space. Not, it's like, this shit just hurts my brain, man. I don't know, like I told you. I fucking, my brain's sweating trying to understand it. Come on. I'm almost, if you're curious why my digging is so bad, it's because we found some new upgraded loots and I wanted them. I'm digging them out. I mean, that just would never happen because matter can't go speed of light. Yeah, which is where the whole, magic. It's magic, Lee. Come on, man. Don't reject the magic. Time for you is slowing down, but it's not disappearing. It does. That's why your things are getting messed up, because we're talking about speed of light. We're talking about a magical land. In the magical land, it would be frozen because you're going at speed of light. But reality is, like Aqua's saying, you could reach 99% theoretically, and that's why it would just be time is slowing down. All right, we are back home, baby. After our journey. Hold on. We gotta... Please hold, let me just... It is consume time. Okay, here's our next move. Our next move is gonna be... putting both of these add manas inside that. Move this here. Couple things. Oh, I forgot these are bouncing bursts. They're not going to benefit from the goddamn... Only the spitter bolt will.
I had a dream last night that I was stuck in a call with a telemarketer in a foreign language. And every time I said, no, it meant yes, in his language. And the call would never end.
The fuck is this? Alright, this will do for now. We're gonna have we have a better explosive build that we can do in just a moment, but let's do personal lightning caster and personal tentacler thrower. Can we do both of them? Yes. And we put them on a bouncing burst. That'll be fun. Abandon the ambrosia flask. Oh fuck, I need to grab that. Thank you for the reminder. What's crazy is we're doing this, we actually don't have anything to use the Greek letters with yet. Like, just kinda, we're gonna collect dust, I guess. If I just didn't throw away the damn slime balls. We're so close. I can taste freedom. It's because the heavy shot's causing recoil. And it's just throwing me back, so I'm actually using my chainsaw to dig, and then getting thrown back up. We're free! Oh no. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Okay, we need him to not have his shield on. And also not be firing anything scary. I put both the personal lightning caster and the tentacler on him at the same time. He's like, oh shit! Boom, 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 boom. Alright. I want the alpha. Because Chad is always calling me the alpha, so I have to grab that. And they don't drop a beta, so Chad always feels like sad because if they feel like they get no representation in NOITA, which, you know, I get it. I'm poor chatters. Dies of cringe. Maybe dies of jealousy. Maybe I'll give you that one. You'll need egg for a boss. I love you. I would have totally forgot about that. You're a hero. My young son would say that was Sigma. That guy's son should get tossed out of the airlock. Hey, that's harsh. What if it was Sigma? What if he was just being accurate? True. You guys are mean to the Fortnite gamers out there. Can a kid enjoy some Fortnite with his boys? Where's the ambrosia?
Nope.
I actually lost my ambrosia flask. Oh, chat, you broke my flask. Mods, ban everybody in chat for banning my flask. Or breaking my flask. There we go. Got this one. Alright. You laughed, but then immediately you were like, aw, because you knew you didn't realize I had a backup one like 2 inches away. That's because you dumb. There it is. Our 5th shift? 6th? Something? Kids shouldn't even be on games that are multiplayer? Well, hold up now, Momga, before you go saying some crazy stuff. I get what you're saying in terms of, like, having kids mixed in with, like, adults and teenagers and all that. That is weird. I agree with that one. But some of my favorite days as a kid were playing some StarCraft multiplayer.
Oh, I really wish you guys could see this guy right now. He is
People weren't really
launched.
typing. People weren't really saying stuff in the chat back in those days. It was a simpler time. The most heated it ever got was in StarCraft 2 was who didn't ally up, and then the game would turn into a game of Among Us where you try to find out who the hell was the you know, screwing everybody else over. But there are plenty of multiplayer games that don't have ways to directly communicate. That's true. That's true. Look at doesn't Hearthstone? It has like the little like well played, well played, well played. That's the most shit talk a little kid's gonna hear. You're just gonna get triggered. It's still toxic. Not, I mean, kind of. I mean, for a little kid, I think for the most part they'd be a bit oblivious, right? Like imagine you have like an 8 or 9 year old playing Hearthstone and the other enemies just spamming well played. I doubt they're fully registering that they're just like basically using well played to talk shit. Kids should just play Dota. It has the most wholesome chatters. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, maybe. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to drop the drilling for now. Put that up. Put that up. We need to find a black hole. I didn't do the Mimic quest. I was kind of lazy. I'm sure that I won't regret that later. I almost certainly will. But remember how we had that healer station set up? Yeah, you were probably wondering. You're like, why did he get that healer station set up? He doesn't need those heals. Look at me now. I could use those heals. What's that, Mary? Dunk, you gotta start using the point down emote when PvPing. It's super not toxic and people love it. You know what triggers people? It's literally one character that upsets Dota players. Who knows the one character that you can set them off? Nobody? Silence? No, not F. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So we got some. Clinks is not a single character. Okay, well you interpreted character as like something you could pick. No. You just this right here. Now League of Legends players, they wouldn't understand this. They would say in response, they're like, "Huh?" They're confused. But in the Dota realm, whenever you have a deny, so the enemy wants to kill the creeps, kills the creeps, he gets money. But right before he goes to kill that creep, you see he wants to kill this little creep, this little creature. You kill it instead. It's called denying, and a little question mark appears above it. So then people will sometimes just post question mark whenever they are like outlast hitting you like crazy. They'll just hit you with the question mark because it just means like you're getting fucked. And then they just will freak out on you, man. They will freak out. Sounds super wholesome. Oh, it is. I'm gonna roll it again. Okay, these rolls have been terrible. They have been absolutely terrible. Oh my gosh, the dice keeps proccing. I don't want to re-roll yet. All right, we run over here. Healer, your fish down here is injured. If you could take care of him, that would be great. He's bleeding out. Crap, his AI is kind of stuck in a way that he is not wanting to react. Ooh, that may kill the fish. Do not kill the fish. Healer is wanting to go to the eye room. He's convinced. He's like, that's the place for me. There we go. Had to kick him. No, hey, no. Get over here. I gotta say, this is a bit unusual. Usually the healers are pretty quick to like follow after you and stuff. Must be something to deal with how the terrain is kind of jagged. It's confusing the healer. Please don't hit the fish. Oh my god. Oh my god, one lives. Okay, yeah, it's how the ground is jagged. It actually was messing with the AI. Kind of crazy. Not the AI, but the pathfinding. Alright, kick the fish. Fishy is injured. What are you doing, healer? One of the weirdest healers I've ever seen. Duh. Alrighty, we're juiced up. Run over here. A little bit of smacking him. Oh wait, he's still alive. A little bit of spanking him. Slapping him. What else do we want to do here? That could be kind of nice. We never grabbed that heavy spread, did we? Whoops. That is chat's fault. Extra health. I mean, I guess we might as well just grab it. I mean, we could grab the Holy Mountain Heal, but you know, dude, the dice is just going nuts right now. The dice is nice. Gravity in case you go bouncing burst build. Ooh, wait. There was gravity? Or was there circle of buoyancy? Are you mixing up the two? Was there gravity in there? Oh, there was. Oh, anti-gravity. Oh, no, this one's gravity. Anti-gravity is going up. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Sure, we'll drop on the bouncing burst for it. We already have several here anyways. Good call. Yeah, we do have a kind of a nice setup going for it. Good old acceleration bouncing burst build. Don't run that every day. We do have accelerative homing, but it's kind of shit. How would you mix gravity with circle of buoyancy? I thought they were just thinking that I don't know, like not the visuals, but like maybe the purpose of messing with how stuff interacts. I don't know. I saw circle of buoyancy. I didn't see the gravity thing. Ooh. Let me in. Let me smack that. Be sad. Let me smack that and be sad. I was talking about opening the chest and being disappointed with the loots. Alright, I don't know what kind of degenerate stuff you're assuming. I'm not going to go looking for a heart mage. Our health is already kind of crazy. Swapper, eh. I'd say one of the deadliest things that we have to look out for in places like the jungle is there's a mage that causes a twitchy effect, and our damage is so good that if that twitchy mage hits us, we can almost kill ourselves in just a matter of seconds. Because it makes our own projectiles hurt us, and the better your build, the more scary that affects. And we do need to do a consume. Oops, that's not the place to do it. It's just going to burn. Blood. And it is Friday the 13th. Blood is spreading. Use Swapper to make a Flicker Strike build from Path of Exile. The Swapper, but wait, isn't that just like a Blink build of some kind that you're talking about? Swapper, you literally have to jump into another, you need something else to swap with. Gotta swap locations. No double trigger? I mean, you could. You could. It's not like something I'm dying for. Spark trigger's already good enough, you know. Okay. That was a corpse of a chest. Oop. That is some electrical bad guys. Doing electrical bad guy things. No surprises there. We're just pushing forward, praying for black holes at some point. Oh my god, what is going on? Give me something to deal with. Grab a heal, I guess. How's Teddy? He's doing great. He is doing great. He says meowdy to chat. Meowdy to you. And I think if anything eventful's been going on in his little world. Not really. Not really. He caught a mouse like 4 days ago. So that was his eventful thing for the month, I guess. It was already dead by the time I found him with it. He was throwing it in the air and punching it. It was like nice. He would like fling his head up. I'd only seen my dog do that before. I didn't know cats really did that. I mean, I knew they played with their victims, but I never seen a cat like throw them in the air and like hit them. He would throw them in the air and he'd like bat it. I was like, oh shit. It's like, what is that? I looked and I was like, oh, it's a fucking mouse? How the hell did you get a mouse? He's like, yeah, I did that shit. I caught it on my own. He hunts for real? Mine just observes? Oh yeah, he gets very, like if there's any birds nearby, I make sure to hurry and get out of here, get out of here. Because he will try to murder them. He is a little murder machine. Okay, so slime is... Oh, wait, no, that's not slime. Is that fungus blood? Fungus blood is blood? I too have caught a great many poor geckos out of my garage. I don't think we have any... So, it's weird. Back at my parents' place when I was a kid, I can remember in the, like garage or just anywhere, like seeing these little geckos that would get like caught in the door and stuff. It was nasty. But, I'm like, I haven't seen one of those in forever. I don't know why there's not any out here. Sure, you probably would hunt them. The thing is, though, there are frogs here. Like when it turns to nighttime in the summer, you just hear all these ribbits, right? You just hear tons of them. You're like, oh, there's frogs all over the place. And I've seen him hopping around near him. He doesn't show any interest at all in frogs. He's just like, meh. Which I was surprised. I figured like a cat would try to go after a frog, but he was not interested. Good taste. Frogs are gross. Yeah, I was glad because I was like, can you get a disease from that shit? I don't know. But he didn't have any interest in it, so I was like, good. Good little Teddy. Don't get attacked by them frogs. Get some disease. My cousin has a bunch of dead pigeons on the front door every week from her 2 cats. It's kind of scary. Dude, cats really are killing machines. They are. It's no joke when they talk about how like a single cat can like disrupt a whole local ecosystem. They're just killing for fun. Is it possible to fungal shift cursed rock? I think we did it before with the green cursed, you know, the greed curse, that green rock. You can do it with that one. I'm trying to remember how you would get cursed rock into a flask or pouch. I don't remember on that one if that one's possible. I feel like no, because I don't remember ever seeing all the cursed rock turn into something else. That doesn't mean that's necessarily the case. I could just be wrong. Could be forgetting something. You did it? Yeah, okay. I thought so. It seemed familiar doing it with the green curse stuff, but not the red one. Alright, going into the last mountain, I hope. Get that away from me. I hope that there will be a black hole spell or wand or something. My God.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. What was I supposed to be doing? It?
Do it.
At least you have stable teleportatium. Yeah, I'm going to use that to, once I get out of this dangerous area, to start warping my way around. Why are we super slow digging? Because we haven't really found anything great so far. You know, we could have just made a luminous timer add mana setup, but I mean, I've been using it on my main damage wand. I keep thinking find something else to supplement the digging, and that has not been the case. I have been wrong. This will probably be our future telewand. Passed up a white hole in the early mountain. That was a giga white hole. You think I forgot? You're hoping I forgot. Now, it is about consume time, isn't it? It is about consume o'clock. Can you recall what the recipe for greed curse rock is? I can recall the liquid, but not the rock. Shit. I feel like it's one of those weird things. Actually, you know what? It may just be the liquid and lava. It may just be the... I don't know that 100%. It could just be the greed curse liquid with lava, and then you're good to go, maybe. TNT says, yes. It's, Wiki says lava plus greed curse liquid equal. Yeah, there you go. It's funny because the other one's really weird. The other one is like you get toxic sludge, you freeze it, then you melt it, and the next thing you know, you got the greed curse liquid. You're like, oh, sweet. But the solid one, yeah, you just mix in some lava. You're good to go. Alright, I'm gonna eat this polymage. That's a sign I should be watching out for polymorphine. Alright, we traveled all the way back up here. Why are your projectiles lingering around so long? Because we had bouncing bursts in general have a long lifetime. You just don't see many people use them because, I mean, they're not the most useful of the projectiles. They can get you killed because if an enemy hits me with a twitchy effect, my projectiles can bounce around for so long that, like, if it flies into me, I'm screwed. Rolling. Yay, fire immunity. Yay, wand experimenter? Okay, listen, calm down, dice. I'm getting too excited. Teleporting back up. Roll it. 12,000 reroll? I don't think so. Actually, wait, it's Friday the 13th. If we were talking about grabbing negative perks, get some more hatred. Bring out the hatred. Gamba. No, we can't grab a Gamba, chat. That could ruin the entire run. You never do anything fun? It could throw the whole run away. Our lead up for hours just into the garbage. Is more hatred really negative though? Kind of. You are right that it has its benefits. It's got some pretty good benefits where making enemies fight amongst themselves and all that is pretty darn good. It's more fun. I can fuck with our build. I can fuck with everything. Friday the 13th. Please no be stupid, Dunk. Amperchamp says no be stupid. Wait, is it like no, comma, be stupid? Or is it no be stupid? As in like, don't be stupid. Please do be stupid. Don't Gamba, you silly man. Ah, it was nothing. Invisibility and oil blood. Hey, you guys, I did it. I did. Giga chat? Here we go. All right, chat, please, come on. You're going to make me blush. Please, no autographs, no autographs. There we go. Yeah, we got double fire immunity. Your mic is dangly. Thank you. Thank you for noticing. Alright, jumping up. Hey. Stop that. Yeah, we're going back to Wand-Mart area, I guess. Gotta do some shopping at Wand-Mart. Buy some groceries. Well, buy groceries, I mean steal it, because there's nowhere to check out at Wand-Mart. There's only murder. Sometimes you have to pay with your life. Ah, that's the price of Wand-Mart. True, fair. It does have a price. So just like Walmart, it's just stealing. Except for sometimes you die. All right. I can already sense it. There's a black hole coming up quick. Don't do it, Magikarp. That's how we do it. That's how we do this as a professional gamer. I make it look easy. Nice pre-built wand, except for the fact that it's a shuffle. Kind of messes it up a bit, but still, I'll take it. Kill master of masters, get stoned, tinker while you shop, profit. True. Good call, I like it. Let me just get everything set up and then we can go get it. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, we're carrying the loot back. Consume? Alright, hold on. Let me just lick some mysterious fungus off the floor real quick. Okay, so here's what we have. We have piercing. We have omega. This is kind of odd. Our wands that we carried back are a little bit lacking, but we can still make them work. So so normally Deadly Heal on its own does not heal the player unless you get an enemy to shoot it at you, which can be a bit tricky. If you put Piercing onto the Deadly Heal, Piercing makes a projectile fly through enemies, but it's harmful to the caster. That's why Deadly Heal has its name, Deadly Heal. It has to hurt the player for it to then heal him. Well, it has to try to hurt the player. It doesn't actually have to hurt you. So if you watch this at first, when I fire this into my player, watch when I bounce it off the ceiling. Well, what did I just do? Oh, I forgot. 0 charges. First we need to say Alpha. Cast a copy of the first spell. We put this in the first slot, and then now we shoot it. And when we shoot it, we're going to jump into, watch our health bar for a moment. It's going to drop for a second and then shoot up. Okay. You see that? It's real quick. But I point that out because if you ever are at like 1 HP or 10 HP, using this method to heal is a bad idea because the pain comes first and then the healing. So you would actually die before the healing could kick in. Now in our case, we actually don't have to rely on that because we have an Omega. Omega casts a copy of every spell in the wand, meaning that there's a piercing here, and then the Omega also copies the piercing. So it thinks that there's 2 piercings on there because of the Omega. These 2 piercings, each piercing does minus 15 damage, so minus 30 total, since there's 2 of them. And the deadly heal does 30 damage total. So two piercing shots will remove all damage that the deadly heal can do. So now when I shoot it, there's no damage at all. There's only healing. So even though it tries to harm you, it tries to harm you for 0 damage. So you still get the positives. Another way you could go about this with the alpha, if you're like, well shit, I only have like this method and it hurts. What you would do is before you hurt yourself, you would put a bit of ambrosia on you. You would ambrosia up a little bit, and while the ambrosia stain is on you, then you let your character get hurt, and the ambrosia will block the damage, but you'll still get the heal. So for now, we're going to do this. And what else do we have going on here? Still...
Okay, chat. I gotta go do some stuff and things. Don't let Chase do his MLB pitcher act and
What?
DNK throw tier
No.
100.
No. What he means... Well, actually, maybe I'm misinterpreting. Maybe I'm being too judgmental on Thalia. Maybe he meant like... Maybe he doesn't want me flexing too much, being like a professional NOITA player. Don't show off too much, is what he's trying to say. Like, you're a professional. Try not to look too amazing. That could be what he's saying. It's possible. Don't rule it out. I don't know why we're going in here. Jump over here. Can you use piercing on a spark trigger to deliver a payload multiple times? Yes, you can. Yes, we could. We could do it just like that. And the reason that this isn't too scary, I mean, it could be a little bit scary because if whenever I hold down the shot, watch my mana pool. See how it runs low? There could be a scenario that when it runs out of mana, that actually puts the piercing into this group here, which would make these potentially able to hurt me. As long as it's only on the spark trigger, meaning like every time I fire it, I make sure that I always have enough. The only thing that can hurt the player is the spark trigger, but the spark trigger only does 3 damage. Piercing shot removes 15, so this will do 0 damage. So the only thing that's eligible to hurt me is something that does 0 damage anyways. This is a potentially nice thing, but usually you would use like an add trigger or something to help with the mana cost, because 140 mana for a piercing shot is kind of brutal. In fact, let's just do this. For now, we don't have to have the healing wand with us at all times. We'll just say alpha, cast copy of the first spell in the wand, put the black hole in the first spell slot, throw away all the extras, and we're good. What if you have Berserkium or Glass Cannon status? Wait, are you talking about throwing? What's this now? Me, I survive with anything. We don't need to test that, but I do. When you try to heal with Deadly Heal, oh, what if you have Glass Cannon or Berserkium status? So remember that the way the math works is it's going to apply that. So for example, if this does 30 damage and you have 2 things that do minus 15, they will cancel out still. Hopefully I'm remembering this correctly. Even though you're thinking like, well, you do times 5 now. Because if I remember correctly, it would be like the resulting damage. Like let's say you only had 1 piercing. So 30 damage, 1 piercing, which is minus 15. So the remaining damage is 15. That remaining damage would then get times, Glass Cannons times 5. It would do times 5 to that remaining damage. So it has to do all the math, and then whatever remains, that's going to get amplified, if I remember correctly. And Ambrosia will still block all of it, so you're good to go on that one. So far, we've killed 2 bosses. We're supposed to kill 13 total today. The 2 bosses that we've killed are the Pyramid boss. Oh no, 3 bosses. We've killed the Pyramid boss, the Dragon, and the Alchemist. So this is going to be our 6th orb. There's orb number 6. And we'll use this moment to also sneak a Tower Wand. And what kind of build are we running today? We will benefit from spell wrapping. So we grab that. So what we can do is we move all this stuff over here. We can actually move this there. That goes here. This there. This there. This. Why did I put that in that silly spot? I don't know. This double can go there just to take up some space, because why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, Bloodlust should no longer be needed. And move this here. What else do we got going on? This, we're going to move that there. Oh, I need the chainsaw here if I want to. You know what? We just do it like this. That. Yeah, it should be good enough. Let's go kill the Master of Masters. So we... Is it already time to consume again? Alright, let me do this. What consume number are we about to be doing right now? Lord, shut your mouth. This is the 10th one. Double explosive projectile. The problem is the only one that's going to benefit from it is the spitter bolt. So I may hold off just a little bit, so I'll go kill the Master of Masters. It's okay. It'll be fine for a bit, I think. Hopefully. Oh, what happened here? Alias was talking shit about you the other day. You should call him out, okay? So he was saying that you were one of the best NOITA players in the world, but what he really meant was that he thought you were old and washed up. Trust me. I'll fucking beat his ass through NOITA. We'll give him a NOITA spanking. Tell him that's my message back to him for somehow giving you the feeling that he was talking shit. Actually, did you know that... Well, actually, I think Alias is going to be hosting like a PvP tournament somewhat soon. I don't know when that's supposed to be exactly, but there's also another community event going on in the near future. Well, like a month or so. And I believe Alias will be taking part in it, and I will be too. We have to wait for more info from QZ. Do you have these crazy damage wands to kill Master of Masters? Do you have to have these? No. I mean, our damage right now is like nothing that wild. I mean, it's like a heavy shot on 4 projectiles. It's not really that crazy. The Master of Masters is more about precision. If you watch speedrunners, you know what? Weebs. Speedrunners' whole build is just one chainsaw. That's it. They use one chainsaw. If you watch like Yolk's world record runs, he uses one chainsaw to kill the Master of Masters. And he just speed runs in and then just chainsaws up the orbs as fast as he can. Because apparently, he was saying that... So while the Master of Masters can fire polymorphine...
It's time to stop! It's time to
I feel like the weebs keep getting unmuted today. I don't know how.
more.
Who's letting the weebs out? Put them in jail and keep them there. He said that there is no chance for the Master of Masters to open up with a poly shot. While yes, the Master of Masters can shoot poly, it's never the first attack, is what I was told. Which is why you can, as long as you're going quick, you can be somewhat confident. For like this, speedrunners and everything, they can be decently confident that he's not going to just, polymorph them directly in the face. Now, a polymage may spawn beside you, which that's a whole other thing, but still kind of cool. Alright, let's see. Where are you? Where are you, Master of Masters? Come on, get over here. Silly boss. Alright, so remember, if I shoot one of the red orbs... Actually, hold on, let's see if I can get this all set up nicely so I don't hurt myself too badly. So if I shoot one of these red orbs, watch my health right now. It hurts me. Not good, especially if I'm firing very quickly. The purple ones, however, those are the ones we want to kill. If you kill all the purple ones, your prize is that now the main enemy can be hurt once all the purple ones are dead. You still have to be afraid of the red ones. The more damage you have, the more damage that shit's going to return, because it returns to the player as curse damage. Okay, so we are going to open up some small opening there. So what you could do is you could also use ambrosia on yourself. What I want is I actually want it to kind of ricochet my shot off of the ceiling like that. Because what happens is if you shoot a projectile like the spark trigger with all its payload, it actually only, it kind of absorbs the whole payload whenever you shoot it into him. So the spark trigger flies into him and then he just kind of like eats the payload like it's nothing. Meanwhile, if you bounce it off of a wall like this, whenever you bounce it off the wall, the payload releases the moment it hits the wall, and that's what allows you to do big damage. Okay, we're kind of fucking around a little bit too much. Oh my god, he was almost dead there. I need you to die, friend. Thank you. Alright, and then once he dies, what we're looking for is he 100% of the time he will drop a stone. Always. 100%. And this stone, when you hold it, allows you to edit. So if you ever feel like you're getting unlucky and you're not finding the Tinker with Wands Everywhere perk, just go kill the Master of Masters and you will get the stone that you need. And then now you don't need the perk. And let's see. So we got the stone. What else we got going on here? We're going to grab this. We're going to grab this. Grab a little bit of everything, I guess. Why every long run needs to end with a Spark Bolt wand? Why? It doesn't have to. In fact, I mean, we can kind of run one that's not a Spark wand already right now. We have enough stuff that we can change up our build a bit. Hold on. Okay, so a change that we could make to our build. It's going to be a bit silly, but we'll try. Alright, so the star of the damage wand that we're about to use is actually going to be Bouncing Burst. I don't use this very often, and I don't think you're going to be that impressed with it yet. Hopefully, as we go, we can make it kind of impressive. But the Bouncing Burst on its own, pretty basic. Not really, it doesn't really, you know, seem like much. 3 damage. It does 3 damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a heavy shot to the Bouncing Burst. Heavy shot adds 44 damage to the Bouncing Burst that does 3 damage. So in total, that should be 47 damage. But whenever we shoot at the statue, you'll actually see... Hold on, let me try to slow it down for a second. It's firing too quickly. You'll see it does 40 damage. So you may... It's 45 damage. Did I say 82? 43. Actually bounced and hit it twice. I think it was about 40. 40. So the reason the math doesn't add up exactly, like, because normally if you do the math, it should come out pretty much perfect where you're like, oh, 5 damage here, 10 damage here, blah, blah, and it ends up being exactly that number. But the Bouncing Burst has a hidden mechanic hidden inside of it where the momentum gained, the amount it accelerated in its lifetime amplifies the damage. So what I mean by that is, if your Bouncing Burst starts off really fast and then hits the enemy, so I shoot it, bouncing around, hits the enemy, how much did it accelerate in that time? Well, maybe it didn't accelerate at all. Maybe it already started off going really fast, and when it hit the enemy, it was still going very fast. There was no speed gained. It was just consistently fast the whole time. So there would be no amplification of the damage. It would just do the basic, you know, like 47 damage. But instead, if you made a bouncing burst that whenever it first shoots off, it's really slow, and then as it goes, starts to travel really fast, and then boom, hits the enemy, it will then have a hidden multiplier to say, because of this amount of acceleration that it gained in its lifetime, take whatever damage you did and then like triple it, quadruple it, 5 times. It can get pretty significant on how much it amplifies. So what we want to do is we want to focus on that mechanic where it starts slow and goes very quick, and abuse that if we can. So one thing though is it can be very hard to hit stuff whenever your bouncing burst is traveling really slow. So that's why we're going to use accelerate homing. This is why I'm thinking that the build isn't going to be that great, but it may look okay. So again, this is only supposed to do, you would think it would only do 47 damage, but whenever we shoot it at the statue here, it actually did 300. Damn, it's just too fast. We need more things to slow it down. It's because this isn't enough to slow it down, actually. Oh well, I don't really have any gigabrain ideas to slow it down. See, 123 damage. 83 damage. See, the closer you are, 23 damage. 11 damage. 5 damage. The closer you are, the less time you are giving it to build up acceleration. So the bouncing burst actually can lose damage by decelerating and going too slow. That's why if you ever are getting a bouncing burst wand at the very beginning and you're like, man, some of this bouncing burst is shit. It's because if you're shooting the bouncing burst in water, the water will slow it down. So you may be trying to do 3 damage, but by the time it hits the enemy, it's like 1 damage, and you're like, oh my god, it's taking forever. That's why something like accelerate homing kind of plays off of it, because it does help it accelerate faster and home onto it. The reason it's not necessarily the best one ever, let's see if I can show you a visual of this. Oh, there's actually look kind of nice. You see 360 damage in one of these bouncing bursts. Pretty nice. I don't know if I'll be able to get a good... We need an acceleration spell to give you a good visual. But what you do not want to do is you do not want to put something like light shot or speed up. Because when you look at it, it says projectile speed times 2.5. That means at the moment of creation. That's not good. You don't want it. You don't want a flat, just like, you don't want to just like, hey, it goes faster. You want the opposite. You want something like heavy shot. It says projectile speed times 0.3. What that means is it begins at 30% the speed it normally would begin. Then from there, you want something that gains speed over time. And the one that mainly is highlighted, the thing that stands out that does that, is the acceleration modifier, which is what we're looking for. If I could find it on the list. Right there. It says, causes a projectile to accelerate as it flies. If you look, it actually says projectile speed times 0.32. So it actually slows down your projectile as well. It also slows it down, but as the lifetime goes, it will speed up the longer it's alive. This acceleration shot plays off the heavy shot perfectly, because both of them slow the projectile down a ton, and then once it gets going, it will haul ass. Enough that a single bouncing burst shot with only a few modifiers on it can one-shot some of the bosses in the game. Like, we're talking like an insta-kill. In fact, if you want, I'll take a little time to set it up so that this bouncing burst, hopefully we can just insta-kill the bridge boss with like 1 bouncing burst or some shit. So you do not want to put piercing on this. This is a bad idea, because this bouncing burst that's flying around, when it flies through you, is going to rip your head off, and you could insta-die from that shit. Yeah, exactly. Pixelion is he's already cooking up some stuff. He's like, well, if we put the moo on there, exactly. By putting the, wait, where did it go? Oh, I left the moo behind. We'll go get it in a little bit. By putting other modifiers on there, we can amplify this quite a bit. Again, though, the accelerate homing is the thing I'm the most kind of like, I don't know if we're going to benefit too much. Again, I'll show you the light shot. Actually, let me just show you like this. If I'm doing, I don't know, 44 damage. And then I put this light shot on there, and I shoot it at the statue. Well, even the light shot itself removes 25 damage, so that's twice as bad. But basically, this is not going to amplify the damage. Oops. See, 45 damage, 45 damage. We remove these. Well, the problem is it actually takes a little bit longer to travel there, so there is, I guess, a slight benefit in that case. But you don't want to do that. Trust me. So we're going to focus on getting our setup the way we want it. For now, we're going to go with the acceleration, homing, heavy, bouncing burst. And you know what we'll even do? We'll say copy random. And we're going to copy the heavy shot twice. There's double heavy shots, meaning the projectile starts even slower. Or we could double up. We'll try both. We'll see which one is better. Put this up. The crit can stay, I guess. It's not really any reason not to have the crit there. Freeze can go on there, and yeah, it should be good enough. Alright, let's try this out. How much damage are we doing? Remember, the crits aren't going to show on the statue. Statues can't be crit. Let's shoot this there. This is 352. 352. 1,540 damage. Again, the crits aren't doing anything, so just to keep it simple, it's pretty good damage. 1,383. Let's swap. Basically, in this scenario, if you don't know what the copy random's doing, it'd be like if you had 2 heavy shots. That's the exact same thing. So 2 heavy shots, you fire it, you would see the... Oops, I fired 2. You're getting the same results as this. Same idea. I just don't have 2 heavy shots, so I'm having to work with what I got. Let's see if we, instead of doing 2 heavy shots, that we did 1 heavy shot and 2 accelerated homings. That's pretty disappointing. I thought maybe the acceleration effect could be nicer. Doubling accelerations, the acceleration modifier on its own is very beneficial, but accelerate homing doesn't seem to be that exciting. Kind of lame, actually. So we'll stick with the doubling of the heavy shot, and I will put this multicast here, and then we will throw a couple more bouncing bursts in there. That's 3 bouncing bursts. All of them will gain the benefits of these modifiers, so all of them can hit for big damage. Pretty good. Put the crits on there, and then we'll just use this build for now, and that way you guys won't be sad that we're running another spark trigger, and then we'll go find some better loots for a better build. So let's those numbers look massive. What the hell was that shit? I guess it's just because it did crit, but it was big damage. It pumped. Used to actually see people run this build quite often in the early days of NOITA, but there's been so much, you know, there's other ways to do really reliable damage. I mean, as you can see while I'm sitting here shooting this build, it's kind of a weird build. Because like, you see an enemy and you're having to shoot off these bouncing bursts that kind of bounce all over the place, and their aiming can be terrible, and there's just so many downfalls to it that people don't run it as often because it's no longer necessary. There's too many other builds that do comparable damage. I can't even talk, man. They do comparable damage with a lot more control, because you know you can manipulate your shots a lot better, instead of, you know, back in the day we were just like, there's an enemy, throw damage in their direction. Go get them. And yeah, we could throw the drilling shot on there. It isn't like the worst idea ever, but the problem is drilling shot, as it phases through walls and stuff, tends to slow down the projectile. So for the most part, I don't think we'll be super happy with it. So currently this build that we're firing, I don't think is enough to kill the bridge boss. It'll just hurt him. It'll take a good piece out of him, but not enough that we're going to be like, oh yeah. In fact, we'll probably fight multiple bridge bosses, so let's just go ahead and do one real fast so you can basically having multiple projectiles against the bridge boss doesn't help at all. Only one of them gets to hit the boss and it accepts the damage and then it ignores all the other ones. So you want the one that hits them to hit as hard as possible. And right now the hitting as hard as possible is not that impressive. It's like it's a little puny, but who knows, maybe we can get a good shot in. Maybe we get enough acceleration gained. Come on. Get bouncing. Bounce harder, damn it. Oh, there must be an enemy. There's an enemy up in the ceiling. And so what happened is the bridge boss ran after what the hell? He ran after the dude in the ceiling. He's still running after him. What's going on in there? He really hates that guy. Chill, man. Yeah, so you can see that. It did a chunk, but it's not about to... There it goes. Not about to be as exciting as it could be. Alright, so we killed the bridge boss. Oh, you can amplify... oh, there's so many things here. So we have increased lifetime. So one of the benefits of increased lifetime on our current build, the longer that a bouncing burst is alive, the more time it has to accelerate. The more time it accelerates, the more damage that it does. So that one is a pretty good one for us. And then this one is the projectile, the weakening curse says target hit by a projectile takes 25% extra projectile damage. Well, these bouncing bursts are doing projectile damage, so by throwing that on there, it just amplifies the one hit that they do. That big pop, make you pump. The boss ignored you because you have more hatred. Oh, wait, that shouldn't be right, is it? Is it just one more hatred and he'll just walk off like that? Is that right? Isn't bouncing popular choice for spells to power build because acceleration stuff is a multiplier for spells to power damage? I mean, it's just another multiplier. Yeah, like, I mean, it's you can run spells to power with like, you don't have to do an acceleration build with it, but it's like another multiplier. If you had like a formula of like you're doing 100 damage and then times 20 times damage for crits. Well, if you can do, say, also, an extra 10 times damage for acceleration, it just makes the end number be that much bigger. It's another multiplier. Because normally people just have projectile damage and then crits. And, well, projectile damage, I guess you could say, well, damage modifiers is projectile damage. And then, so whatever modifiers, crit damage, and then that's your final outcome. By adding the bouncing burst acceleration in there, it just gets out of control that much more. Yeah, we could do an add trigger for these. In fact, if we want to do an add, no, we can't do it if we want to do a copy random. Copy random doesn't play nicely with the add trigger. It messes stuff up a bit, but I mean, our current build is fine right now anyways. Let's go get some better loots. Can you explain how it plays weird? Basically, the reason copy random is forced to copy the heavy shot is all of this is firing off in one moment. Everything, boom. The moment I shoot it, it's all one shot. So when copy random goes to choose its random spell, it has to choose something that... give me 1 second, I'll read it. It has to choose something that is not being used in the moment. Like, if all of this is being fired off in the same frame, this is being used, this is being used, they're all being used. So nothing is in what people call the discard pile, like the unused spell, except for spells to the right of it. So Heavy Shot is the only spell that is to the right of the copy random. Meaning, so when it goes to copy, it only has one thing to choose from, this one. If I put one of the bouncing bursts over here, that means the copy random could sometimes grab the Heavy Shot, sometimes grab the bouncing burst. You don't know which one it's going to grab. So instead, I wanted to copy the Heavy Shot. I want there to be two of these. If I put an add trigger onto something, things that are in between, I think it's literally just the things in between, like the modifiers, now become eligible in the discard pile. I guess maybe there's some way that you would like, you could do maybe like that, and maybe that makes it so that the heavy shot is forced to be copied as well. But then you kind of lose your purpose, because you're wanting to use the add trigger so that you could make all these other modifiers so cheap and free. But then by doing that, they all are now getting put in that same like eligible pile that the copy random can grab from. Kind of weird like that, I know. I think you can swap out copy random spells for any multicast spell. Add trigger, add timer, add expiration, and you get 4 heavy shot. Wait, hold on, let me think about that. Oh, that's true, actually. That's a good call. In fact, we could do that right here at the end, couldn't we? What he's talking about is kind of a funky thing. So, same idea. I mean, kind of. Remember, if a modifier is at the end of the wand, let's say that we have a triple spell, meaning it's going to fire off 3 projectiles, not 3 spells, because you put this here, there's still only 3 projectiles. It doesn't matter where you place it. This is still, it's not looking for modifiers. It wants 3 projectiles. 1, 2, 3. So when I go to fire this wand right here, the first shot is actually going to be 3 bouncing bursts that have these modifiers attached to it, which makes them fly normally. And the second shot will have the heavy shot attached to everything, like it wraps around, which I know can be a little hard to grasp. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the heavy shot is in every single shot, no, not only some of them. So the way you do that is you just make sure that your multicast is so high that there are not enough projectiles to fill this up. So that means modifiers, even if they're placed at the very end, still apply to the group. So now when we cast it, every time we have heavy shot on there. Now what you can do from there, what Test 60 is suggesting, is that we can put like an add trigger here at the end, and then right now it should be casting it. Oh wait, we may want to have to put it here, but let me test something real fast. So when I shoot it, get that one versus, yeah. So in this scenario, this is 1 heavy shot. By putting an add trigger here, it now actually applies the heavy shot twice. This is where things get a little bit crazy. But you'll see this in some of these wild builds where people will place lots of modifiers towards the end. And then they'll put, I don't know why you'd put that there, but let's just pretend for a moment that for some reason you want to do that. Oh wait, why did I think that? Oh no, that's not the one I wanted. I don't know, whatever. And then you can place a divide by right here. What happens is it actually grabs all of these modifiers, maybe think of it like this. It's like you're taking this group and combining them into one single spell, like its own custom modifier that is capable of being a heavy shot and an explosive projectile, 2 explosive projectiles, and it has a crit. It's its own special modifier that's going to be called add trigger. But in this scenario, for following our discussion, we'll just keep it really simple. Basically, add trigger, heavy shot. So the heavy shot, this is one of them. Put this here. Now there are 2 heavy shots on the wand. There is this heavy shot and this add trigger that's creating its own like fusion of it. Basically, it's wrapping around, but we'll yab about that later. And then I don't remember if the order should matter here too much, but in this scenario, is there 4 in that scenario? I think he's saying there's 4, or is it? Not sure how many we can get going. Why is it every other shot? Something like that. In this scenario, what you're going to want to do is any modifiers you want to be amplified, you should add to that group, because everything in there is going to be cast multiple times. Oh, wait, is Kubi got us? Let's see. Where's Kubi at? You need to end on a bouncing burst for that to work properly. Then find a target. Oh, I need to end on a bouncing burst? Find a target, but no payload. Modifiers copied, but no trigger created. It needs a projectile at the end to use the multiple add trigger timer like this. Oh, really? Are you? So we can only, you can get the one extra, but you're saying like we couldn't. So like we can still benefit here, but you're saying in this scenario it wouldn't benefit unless we put this here. This is where things get a little bit crazy. My brain is struggling on this one. Actually, we probably want to benefit from this too. I don't know how much the order matters there. Sure, why not? Let's try it out. Without a projectile at the end, it finds no target. It doesn't discard. The modifiers are not available to the others after the wrap. Okay, so you'd be limited to 2. And in this scenario, am I getting 3 heavy shots or 4? You forgot the expiration trigger? Oh. Let me run down here, find a bad guy to shoot, and see if we're happy with the damage. Okay, that accelerate homing is really an issue, isn't it? In fact, this may be... Yeah, I think our projectiles traveling so slow and the accelerate homing isn't... It's like... I think even when you multicast it, it's just so... Shit, man. I want the acceleration modifier. It's so much better. And see, right now, I don't know if it's necessarily worth that extra. I think it was kind of... We would need to do that with the acceleration, not acceleration homing. I'll probably swap that back so I can fire this thing faster, because it's a little bit slow right now. It is waiting for me. Another heavy shot. Oh, wow. That's... So we actually will run into a problem at a certain point, where when you're multicasting all these heavy shots, your projectile can actually start to travel too slow. And if you look... Is it happening yet? No, not yet. Not quite. It's getting there. Yeah, look at this. Watch when I shoot this. Sometimes a projectile doesn't even begin to exist in the first place. If I shoot it, in this scenario, if I shoot it up, it doesn't even get enough speed to exist in the first place. If I shoot it down, it seems like every once in a while it's happening. No, I guess it's when an enemy's nearby, it's giving it enough speed. So what you can do to take care of this problem is if you put gravity or anti-gravity in the modifiers. You don't need to multicast it, I don't believe. It makes it so that the projectile has to like exist. It has to be created. The downfall is now your projectiles are going to want to, in this case you can see that they're wanting to go down. They're always wanting to go down. That's why having things like acceleration are important, because you want to fight this gravity that's currently pulling the projectiles down. So you end up with this weird balancing act of like, I want to make sure my projectile exists in the first place so it can kill enemies, but I don't want it making it so that it can't reach the enemy that I'm wanting it to reach. That's, again, these builds, they have so many little things to remember. It's not as straightforward, I feel like, as a lot of the other builds out there where you're like, oh, just use this and you'll be happy and big damage. Can't remember with the drilling shots. It slows down pretty extreme in the walls, yeah? Pretty extreme. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. The acceleration. When you're dependent on acceleration, that's pretty rough. So if we have drilling shot on there, whenever it hits walls and everything, the projectiles are just kind of digging through the walls and going after, you know, whoever. But let's say I didn't have drilling shot, and whenever I shoot, you see when the bouncing bursts start to bounce on the ground, after a little while they just die off, because every time they only have so much bouncing life in them. It's a bouncing burst. They'll bounce for a bit. But if you add stuff like where is it? Bounce, it's a free modifier. In fact, I guess you could just apply it in here, and it makes it so that that bouncing or whatever is it's less likely to cause your bouncing burst to like time out, because your bouncing burst is going to live for so many bounces. It isn't going to hit like its limit to where like it dies off. It's just gonna bounce for a long ass time. I think that's mainly, that doesn't really shine so much on the bouncing burst, but on something like triplicate bolts, you see a huge difference. You're like, oh my god, bouncing bursts, you're like, ah, they're just they bounce all over the place anyways, and they time out at a certain point. But triplicates are like, ooh, maybe we'll find a triplicate and show that in a moment. Oh, ow, that hurt. Read me on acceleration homing. Oh, okay. More than one acceleration homing is terrible. Acceleration homing plus any other form of homing, also pretty terrible. Exactly one acceleration homing is the only acceptable way to use it. So, oh, okay, that makes sense, because I was sitting there and I was like, something about it was weird, and then I was doubling it and it went down. So that's it. That makes sense. So you're supposed to have exactly one. But if we end up getting like rotate towards, I'd rather use that if I can. So move this out of the group getting multiplied. And I guess we'll just toss this back on there. Thank you, Kubi. I was curious what the hell. So now we're happier with this one. Just wish we had an acceleration modifier. Phasing. Phasing is an interesting one. What is phasing going to even look like on this thing? Let's do just one of them. It's only shooting down too. Oh no, once the acceleration gets going, I guess it starts to... Maybe if we combine the two... Maybe if we combined that area teleport with it, maybe we'll be happy. Oh, there's another... Okay, we don't even have to go find the other one that I left on the ground. We have this. Let's throw an area teleport in there as well. Let's see if we think of that. Not bad, but hard to say on the lumps if we're losing some serious damage. I'll have to do some tests in here. Oh yeah, we have a couple more shifts to do, don't we? I think the bridge boss is a great one to kind of test this goofiness out on. But we have a lot of variables to kind of toy with on it. Since we have phasing on there as well, which is probably messing with some stuff. Fun fact that we're going to have another Friday the 13th in exactly 1 month. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. They were saying, what are we going to do next month? I was like, I guess we go to New Game plus 13 on top of all this. Sure, that'll be good. Important question. Homing Bouncing Burst son or Tentacle Timer daughter? I don't know how to interpret this. I'm scared. Answer it. Bouncing Burst son? I don't know. I'm scared. I mean, I'm using Bouncing Burst right now. Some Ambrosia. We still have 6 more orbs to get. Okay, there we are. Let's try out... We're going to probably make some modifications to our build mid-fight. But it'll be fine. Hopefully. Alright, so he's got his 800 health. This is not a different boss, by the way. It's not part of the 13. We already killed this guy once, so we're not going to count him again. I'm just trying to... So the negative here is that by having the drilling and everything... Oh, shit. I forgot the more hatred is making him... Oh, my God. Kind of fuck off. Damn, that got him pretty good. That did get him pretty good. Insted his ass. I wasn't so sure on that one because of the phasing and all that, all those factors. But it got him. Oh yeah, earlier I wanted to quickly, because I talked about the bounce really being exaggerated, where if you shoot the triplicate bolt, watch this. If I shoot the triplicate over pretty quickly, right? But if you were to add the bouncing burst to the triplicate, they'll stay alive a lot longer. I mean, sometimes it doesn't look so extreme, but it can make a really big difference depending on the modifiers that you have on them. Something like Electric Arc really makes a massive difference by having the bounce on there. In this case, drilling with bounce doesn't really make a ton of sense, because it's like, oh, it's just going through walls anyways. 1 second. Exclamation mark pillar. I forgot what are all the perks that we could get. Because I was thinking for Friday the 13th, somebody in the chat had brought it up, and I thought that is a pretty good idea. Where if we could get enough negative perks, we could get a red halo. That'd be kind of cool. But the thing is, I already have one more hatred, but I also have extra life. So these are canceling each other out. So I'm breaking even. I need to get to -3. Exploding corpses would be nice. Vampirism, that'd be fine. More blood, sure. See what we can do about that. Then also, let's do a check on our shifts and everything. We've currently done 11, so we owe 2 more shifts for our Friday the 13th run. Alright. Done soon. Plum. You know, this build, because of the way that the bouncing burst travels down so fast, I think it may actually do a decent job at killing the Kivi boss without putting me in danger. Don't throw, please. How so? Because normally one of the things is let me show it on the map. I was like, that froze. I was like, let me just show the map. If I am up here, so when the Kivi boss is down here, if I'm all the way up here, I outrange his ability to break ambrosia. The issue is that once you're far away from him, it can be kind of hard to hurt the boss. Like, it's hard to shoot a projectile and get it all the way, you know, around the wall, down here, whatever. So normally what I do is if I stand up here with ambrosia, we do like mimicium and lava down here, so it fills this area up with lava. And so this dude gets hurt, and he tries to send the damage back to me, but because I'm outside the range of his anti-ambrosia method, having ambrosia on me will block all the damage. Well, now I think if I just stand here and shoot that bouncing burst, I think it will travel fast enough and far enough that it'll kill it. You know what? I think we're not going to be getting that red halo. Oh, actually, you know what we could do for the fun of it? Just throw a shield onto this thing. Nah, the shield looks lame. Thought maybe it added kind of a nice flavor to it. That, not so nice. Not so flavorful. Does projectile slowing field perk work with bouncing bursts? Projectile slowing field. It's one of those that I grab so rarely that I'm like, well, I think the issue is, in general, I think you'll still be okay with it. The only problem is if a projectile is traveling from over here through you, it is going to lose some damage. It's one of those things where you're like, does it even matter? You know what I mean? Because there are some of these things on here that, like, we are probably losing damage for having on there, but because of what they offer, projectile slower doesn't really offer very much for me, in my opinion. I don't like it too much. But I think that it wouldn't be that significant. I'm grabbing the saving grace. If this next holy mountain has something that gives me... oh, we do not want this one. This is decelerating shot. Makes the projectile get slower over time. We do not want that. We want it faster over time. But if the next holy mountain gives me something to help me get the red... Oh, this is bad. This is actually dangerous. Oh my goodness. Woo, boy. They froze me. I got so lucky that there were not more of the melee guys around because it froze me. I could have gotten meleeed into the ground. There was just like one little dude, just one or two just biting me. We had saving grace and extra life, so it would have really taken some craziness to get us down, but it wouldn't have been impossible. There's water. None of these are a Friday the 13th perk, really, so... Sag. I was heading back down because there was an easy orb I should have grabbed. In fact, you know, we've been goofing around, been talking a lot of Noita today, but I think it's time that we lock in and get this Friday the 13th run, get into a good place so that we can take out Kolmi, flex on the chumps, all that kind of stuff. Alright, so we're going to head to the left over here because there is always an orb hidden in the wall over here. I was cut over a bit early. Alright, so here's an orb, and we don't want to deal with this cursed heart right now, so I'm just going to grab it, and I forget who it was that brought up, says if you always shoot at the same moment you grab, if you time it right, you'll never grab the cursed heart. I was like, really? And last time I tried it, I was like, yeah, it actually does. I mean, it seemed to work pretty well. I used to just walk away, but every once in a while I would still grab the orb. But the telling at the same time did seem to be decently consistent. Grabbing another orb over here. Oop, this is a bit early. My bad. Why not use Summon Psychosophy to get the acceleration shot? That's not a bad plan. That's not a bad idea. I haven't went to heaven or hell to even look for the spells. Kind of was just, we were just going on an adventure. I never really went in with a plan today of like a specific build. If anything, somebody stopped by earlier and was complaining about having another Spark Trigger build. So I thought, all right, we'll run something other than Spark Trigger. Let's see what else. And then we just had the ingredients for that bouncing build setup that we're using right now. Actually, we need to grab this over here. Oh shit, I don't know why I was not even ready to teleport in my head. I was just like, yeah, okay, grab this. So now we got Ambrosia for a moment to wait it out. And honestly, you don't even need to wait it out like that, because you got to remember, the more new game pluses that you're in, the more the cursed heart hurts. Right now, it really doesn't hurt that bad, and we have a deadly heal set up to balance it out anyways. But in general, I try to stay in the habit of being ready for that, because I have let my guard down in the past where I was in like new game +3 or new game +4. Wasn't paying much attention, and I grabbed one of these orbs, and whenever I did, it insta, like, you know, it killed me. But luckily I had extra life, so it wasn't completely punishing, but still, it was enough that I was like, holy shit, I gotta pay more attention. We need one more orb. I think we have one more fungal shift, and then all that will remain from there. We're going to take the portal. This will take us back to the main world. Let's go ahead and do our last fungal shift needed for the run. How many bosses has he done? I'll count them in a moment, but I think it's like 7. Because we're not counting duplicate boss kills. Like if you kill the same boss twice, I'm not counting that. This should be shift number 13. It said lava. Lava. What do curse hearts do? And can you negate the negative effect? A cursed heart is pretty much what a regular heart is. The only difference is you have a punishment for, like, I forget, what's the timer on it, chat? Like 45 seconds? For 45 seconds, you're going to be hit with the same effect as if you had, like, poison, the poison stain on your character.
Right now. He is drenched in sweat.
Think of, like, having the poison stain on your character forced on you for 45 seconds, and you can't wash it off. So something like Ambrosia allows you to just sit there and wait for the 45 seconds, and you get rid of it. But what makes it so scary is that poison scales. So every new game plus, poison hits harder and harder, and there are 28 new game pluses. But by new game +4, I believe the percent damage, because poison does the poison is scaling up, right? The percent of damage that it's doing is over 100%. So you can't try to escape it by increasing your health bar. Let's say you have 10 billion health. So that you're like, oh my god, I have so much health. One cursed heart in New Game Plus and you're insted. And so luckily things like Saving Grace and Extra Life can try to save you, but you kind of let your guard down when you have 10 billion health. You're like, nothing, I mean, polymorphine's scary, but you would think, oh, a cursed heart, it's nothing. And then you pick it up and you're like, oh, fuck. I've actually watched people lose runs. I think it was, damn it, who was it? Was it Pagrax? We call him Pograx. We love him around here. Anyways, I remember watching a run where he had about, I don't know, 7,000 health, and he accidentally, because he had grabbed the spider legs, because he was one of these sick degenerates that used to argue that the spider legs perk is actually a good perk. And so it causes your movement to be a little funky, right? It can be tricky to line up where you want to line up. And whenever he went to line up, he was pretty much in the right spot, but at the last moment he accidentally nudged and he went into the Curse Heart and it just insted him. Because normally poison isn't lethal. Once you get below 5% health, it doesn't hurt you anymore. But if something is hitting you, if it says, oh, are you below 5% health? If no, then it does over 100% damage. So it never has that opportunity to say, oh, is your health already so low that I can't hurt you? Because even when you're full health, it just will insta you. And then after you're, that's why Saving Grace is nice, because Saving Grace will save you and give you 1 HP. And then the poison will try to hit you again and it'll say, oh, he's already below the 5% health threshold. Don't hurt him again. So that's where Saving Grace really shines. One way to get rid of that, to not have to worry about the Cursed Hearts, is if you grab the Glass Cannon perk. Glass Cannon makes it so that the Cursed Hearts do not work. They don't add 25 health, so you don't get hit by the poison effect. You get the idea. All right, finish up the run. Okay. So let's go down here. Here's our buddy, the Kivi boss. And what we're going to do, let's hopefully this... we're going to put a little bit of ambrosia on ourselves. Let's see if this is set up correctly. Oh, shit. See that right there? You see all that red effect on my character? That was the Kivi boss trying to send the damage, reflect it back into me. But because I was ambrosiaed, it didn't reflect it back into me. Normally, it should still hurt me. But because I am outside the radius of that Kivi boss, I'm outside the zone that he can remove the ambrosia effect. So it actually did work. It worked pretty well. Actually really happy with how it kind of just ran down there and then beat the shit out of that boss. It was quite nice. Mr. Locked In here. Okay, I am locked in. I am. Let me think for a moment. We're missing 1 orb. So we've done the 13 shifts. Today's Friday the 13th. We have to do 13 shifts, 13 orbs, and 13 bosses. Let me focus on... Actually, hold up now. If I were to place a heavy shot, explosive projectile here, and I shoot that... Okay. So the explosions are pretty nice. I think if I shoot that at the Forgotten, I should be pretty happy with the set. Oh, homing doesn't work on the Forgotten. Well, as long as we get above them, we should be fine. Yeah. Why not 13 new game pluses? Because there's another Friday the 13th coming up in a month. We can save that for that one, right? Genius. I know. You're impressed. You're like, how does he do it? I definitely didn't just get the idea from chat. Alright, so we grab this eye, we run on over here, and while we're running over here, we might as well take a... Wait, did I already go over? Oh, with my teleport, it feels like it's a little slow. Gonna run over... Ow. Oh, pfft. Are you kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course. Of course. Another heavy shot though too. Holy crap. My god. You know what this needs? More heavy shot. For more damage. So Summon Taikasova, like Chad was bringing up earlier, we could use that to farm an acceleration, which would make for a better... Like this wand's kind of silly. As you can see, I'm kind of stuck shooting in this awkward way. The better way that it would fire off is that you shoot it and they're kind of running all over the place, and any enemies that come near you, it just runs over and murders them. But currently we're just like, hey, we shoot it. It seems to be dealing with most enemies. That's alright. Wait, where are we? What's happening here? How far down does that thing go? Let's find out. So if I'm right here on the surface and I shoot that there. Interesting. Weren't you going for the orb? You know what? No, I wasn't. That is ridiculous. I would never get distracted 2 seconds later. I know exactly what I'm doing. I am a professional gamer. How dare you accuse me of such a thing? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can kill the Forgotten Boss before I even need to use the eye, but this build isn't exactly the greatest for that insta-kill method, that insta-kill tech. The issue is, these enemies over here, I will need to grab off the... Oh, wait. Yeah, it's just going to be shit. Let's see if I can... No, I couldn't time it at all. There, here you go. There we go. You wouldn't do a build like this for the insta-kill method. That's just, this build makes no sense for it. Alright, there's the sun seed. If you wanted to do the sun quest, there's actually, that little tiny seed actually becomes a massive sun, which is like a ball of death and insanity and all that kind of stuff. But we're not going to need it right now. Then we run over here. I'm not electric immune, so doing this is a bit scary. Orb number 13. We've done 13 shifts. We've killed the Pyramid Boss, the Alchemist, the Dragon, the Bridge Boss, the Master of Masters, the Kivi Boss, the Forgotten. Oh shit. We still have to kill 6 more bosses? Well, Kolmi's gonna be one of them. So we need to kill 5 bosses and then Kolmi. So yeah, Meat Realm, Friend. Let's go Meat Realm first. We don't want to. We probably don't want to do Friendly Boss just because I currently do not have any of the damage types to kill the buffed version of them, and killing the other version of them is kind of lame, right? So we'll leave out the Deer Boss and the Friend Boss. Will be the 2 bosses we leave out because there's 15 total. We're supposed to kill 13 today. I mean, we don't have to leave out the Deer Boss. It's just I'm too lazy to like get the kill set up properly. Oh, I went over past the Meat Realm boss. I was heading straight to Mecha Kolmi. I was too much in a rush. Oh, we have to kill Leviathan then. Damn it, why didn't I do that? I was already set up for that too. Stupid. Me stupid. I ran right past him. Said, how's it going? We do not have melee immunity, by the way. So we're going to be fighting Tiny in a bit here that, in a really scuffed way that probably would not be recommended. Hello, Meat Realm Boss. Goodbye, Meat Realm Boss. He lived a good life. This wand right here with the always cast chainsaw is what the speedrunners use to speedrun kill the Master of Masters. You can actually, if you watch the pros out there like Yolk, you'll see that he just charges directly into the Master of Masters with that one wand and just shreds them. Okay, so Meat Realm Boss is dead. Triangle, yes, the Door Boss, thank you, that was the one. It's like there was one that I was going to kill so many times and I just haven't. That was because we had the egg here and I just kept flying on past him each time. And I'll get rid of the Leviathan first. Leviathan, we really only have one way to hurt him right now, and that is through explosion damage. So what we'll do is we're going to move a modifier. This one, Weakening Curse, you're out. And Explosion, you're in. Let's hope that that'll be enough to fuck him up. Again, I don't think our homings or area teleport or any of that shit work on him. That part's going to be a bit annoying. Where is he? Ooh. Damn, I think set up this way, I think that the Weakening Curse doesn't even have the opportunity to apply to him. What we need to do is we probably need some kind of... I don't know if this is going to work too well, but let's try that out. Nope, still not applying it to him. Well, it does apply. It's just puny as hell. Hold on. Please hold. Please hold. Let's bust out. We can remove these for now because they're not doing anything anyways. And let's try that out. Add piercing. Actually, yeah, I like that idea. I do like that idea. Phasing, you can hang around for a moment. Come on, where is he? Let me at him. That's pretty nice. That'll do. Need you to die, friend. What is that? Waterstone? Wait, what was the other stuff that it dropped? It was... What is that? Molten... It was, I don't know, some molten steel, I think, before. Grab this. Some dirt. The Waterstone is not too exciting. Evergreen Seed. Wow, that's exactly what I wanted. The Waterstone is not too exciting because whenever you hold it out, because Waterstone at water is currently smoke, smoke doesn't have a stain. So by holding the Waterstone, it applies no stain to your character. And my little heart is broken. But if we converted water into like ambrosia, then when you hold the Waterstone, it actually will apply an ambrosia stain to your character. Which would be cool, but that's not the case right now. Okay, now we put these back, and we don't... Well, we can leave the explosive projectile on there. We'll leave this exact setup as it is for fighting Tiny. Actually, how does this build do against our buddy here? 1 egg, 2 egg, 3 egg. Alright. Oh shit. Not my favorite. I think it'd be better the other way we had it. But it's fine because we don't want to change the build because I want to use this build this way for a little while. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop 4 spells so we know Door Boss is dead. But oh well. Oh shit. I do not have, woo! I do not have the melee immunity, so when he came flying at me, I didn't realize I was so close to him. White hole on a ear and wand that is lame.
Legalize nuclear bombs.
There is a Giga Nuke, this is true. And I do like to make the chat smile. You know me, just always going that extra mile for the people. So here's what I'm thinking. We swap this one. Actually, we'll swap it there. Right before we fight Mecha Kolmi. Would be cool. We actually don't need this egg anymore. Alright, so where are we? I probably should have got a heal setup going on. But that would require a brain. And we reject that around here. No brains allowed. Alright, where are you? Oh, look at him. Fight me! Aha! We got him. Oh, God damn it. Hold on, I'll use that on another boss. Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine! We have another boss to kill. Alright, spatial awareness. I was wanting to use it on that guy. Alright. What bosses remain at this point? We have done 13 fungal ships. We have gathered 13 orbs. Smiler's betrayed. No, I'll use it on Kolmi. That makes it even more cinema. Didn't think about that, did you? Did you? Friend and Deer Boss can be left out because we're supposed to kill... There's 15 bosses total. 15 bosses total. We only need to kill 13 because it's Friday the 13th. Meaning 2 will be left behind. Yeah, so Blue says it's just Tiny, Kolmi, and Deer. Alright. Well, Chad agrees. We only have 1 boss left to kill for 13 bosses to be done. Here we go. And I'm swapping in the nuke to... It's actually going to be a little bit dangerous. We're not explosion immune. We'll be fine. As long as this guy doesn't hit us with a poly shot. Oh, I see poly shots. They're... Oh, because of... Wait a second. The poly shots don't follow you because of more hatred? Is that what's happening there? Let's let him shoot those poly shots a couple times. Oh, invis. Pfft. I thought it was more hatred for a moment. I was like, that's cool, the invis. I thought I learned something. Oh, the invis is not there anymore. Bring the invis back. I need that. I totally forgot I had the invis perk because you guys had me grab it earlier. Well, that happened. You know what? Wait, why didn't that... I guess it doesn't have the monopole to sustain it. Sorry, chat. You gotta break your heart. We'll blow something up. Don't worry. Actually, here, we'll do this. Get out of here with this damn poison shit, man. Please don't kill me. I don't have explosion immunity. I would like to live. Oh god. Oh god. Look at that. No problem. See, I told you guys I would shoot a giga nuke to make you proud. You thought I wasn't gonna do it. You were doubters.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Okay, hold on. I don't really have much terrain to stand on anymore, but what can you do? I'm actually better off putting the crits on here. I believe. Sure. Actually, no, it would be better like this. Crits on crits on crits on crit. Oh, we're not giving it time for it to accelerate into him. I totally forgot about that. Whoops. And there's no... damn it. Hold on. We gotta fire it from the base of the wand. You're out of there. You're out of there. Is this good? Ooh, piercing? But this? Oh boy, are we about to get ourselves killed? About to speedrun death on this one? Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. That's the damage we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. I was gonna say, why? I was like, why were we doing no damage? And I forgot, oh yeah, we're doing the spark trigger into the... So you gotta remember, the reason that was bad, our whole build was based, the bouncing burst part of the build, was based on acceleration. The more it accelerates, the more damage it does. But if you're shooting a spark trigger that delivers the bouncing burst, it doesn't get the opportunity to accelerate. It just spawns and dies immediately. So no amplification, only sadness. So instead, made a little tweak here and there, and then big damage. If it does hit us, I'm sure it would try to insta-kill us. I kind of want to test that. Oh! Yep. That sounds about right. It's a perfect moment to show off my setup we have over here, where it is piercing.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
We're back in business. Back in business, baby. Now we have a couple choices. We could jump into here. You know what? The Dark Sun does seem kind of fitting for this death. Just got back and you're at 1 HP? No, that... I was hacked, is what you just saw. The King crown. Let's see, we got the little King trophy. I mean, not crown. Boom. The King has arrived. Gonna lock in. So, 13 fungal shifts. 13 orbs. 13 bosses. For Friday the 13th. GG, and we yapped a lot. Correct amount of bosses killed? Yes, the only bosses that we left out were the Friendly boss and the deer boss, because there's 15 bosses total. You leave 2 bosses out. Not 13 perks though. Close. The Kivi boss? Yep, we killed him. We killed him. Yeah, we didn't get a transformation in, but I didn't want to go... We'd just be searching parallel worlds, just looking for him. I was hoping it would fall into my lap, but it kind of didn't. We'll save that for next Friday the 13th to make it even better. Actually, did you see that? There's a lot of poison. It was taking its time to transform. And being Friday the 13th, we got to go to the most evil looking thing in the game. The most destructive thing that exists in all of NOITA. Actually, that probably would be polymorphine. But the next best thing. The Dark Sun. Oh, shit. Well, that was fast. I usually like to savor the flavor a little bit, but, yeah, it was a speed run. I couldn't be wasting time. We had to go as fast as possible. I know you'll probably want to do something Valentine's Day themed tomorrow, but how about the Fresh File Moon Quest on Sunday then? Perhaps. Perhaps so, Bayhue. We'll see. We will see. I think QZ may have some stuff planned for either tomorrow or the next day. We're going to see what he... I don't know. He may not, may have stuff planned. We just say, QZ, are we doing something? And that's how I find out in the moment. Thank you for the GG's, chat. I see you guys. Thank you for being part of the adventure. It was a fun one. We just kind of, Friday the 13th, we're just doing some funny, goofy stuff, some random stuff. And look at that, win number 2,666. I planned that for, it's Friday the 13th, 666. As a professional streamer, it's important that you do these little subtle things for the lurkers out there that take notice to it. They know that I worked for months leading up to line up this win number exactly on Friday the 13th. Just feel free to, applaud that and say that's my streamer. We produce high quality content around here. Oh yeah, I gotta check the streaks. I almost forgot. Chat was probably yelling at me, streaks, you fool. Streaks. Boom. We got 7 streaks going out to Kluzman, Orange Moose, Extraterrestrian, Purdy Mouth, Stashless, Suvamuyo, 68, Kasarn Wolf, Wriggle Knight, and Fractal Chaos, all getting 7 predictions in a row. Not bad, not bad. These are some healthy believers. -7 going out to B-Dizzle. That is 7 incorrect predictions in a row. Okay, I see you. I see you. And you do get a dunce cap. It's already in your backpack there, B-Dizzle. Equip it whenever you like. Trumpets of Jericho with the 3 7 streaks in a row. 777. Congratulations on the 21 trumpets. You earned that 3rd 7 streak. And then Dunk on Lava lost their -6 streak, which I don't know what the hell that's all about, but we just point and laugh at them. And this is Derek over here. So we're about to be raiding Derek. Let me queue up the raid for me. It looks like he's playing World of Warcraft. Yes, he is playing the World of Warcraft. I don't know much about WoW. I did have some fun watching them when they played the hardcore WoW, the OnlyFans stuff. I watched Derek actually playing quite a bit. And but outside that, I don't really know much about the game. I'm just a little bit of a noob in that world. But we love us some Derek. Oh shit, did I put a period at the end of that? Let me make sure that it is choosing the person correctly. Let me make sure that it is working. Yes, good. Cheers for rating and Joss Strive. Yeah, I mean, he's a cool dude. Anytime I have been looking up stuff about MMOs, because it'll be like, oh, some new big MMOs coming out, or whatever, there's whatever reason to play an MMO. I feel like when I Google stuff about it, he's the one that pops up, and I'm like, oh, and I watch it, and it's always like super informative. So whenever you said his name, I like recognized it, but I didn't know what from until you had me. We rated in, and I was like, yeah, I definitely know this guy, or I definitely seen him, on YouTube. I know of him. The fuck is it World of Warcraft? It's a hidden gem. Hidden gem made by a very small indie company named Blizzard. Wholesome folks, mom and pop shop, known for being some great guys and gals. You'll listen, when you get over there, just add or ask Derek all about it. He'll tell you all about it. Not anymore. By the way, that was a joke. Yes, I am aware. They have second generation employees at Blizzard. Dunk straight up lying. Listen, if somebody believes that Blizzard is a small indie company, you know, mom and pop, you know, run, you're losing your damn mind, okay? You've lost your mind. All right, I'll see you guys in about 15 hours. We're going to play some more Noita, all that good stuff. Deuces.